disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
We just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lobito! Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr. BDA, and alongside with me, as always, my co-host, the one, the only King, Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you something. It is the beginning of fight week. First big fight of the year. I'm sensing a lot of hype on the internet now. Maybe not that much last month. Maybe not that much when this rematch was announced between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But now the hype is starting to be there. Finally, a big fight, Buchu, this year. Now, before we get down to the fun, we got a special show planned for everybody. But before we get to that, we got to get the business out of the way. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe and like our secondary channel, BDA Live. That's where we hold our film analysis. We currently have some sensational film analysis over there for the Fury-Wilder fight. Give you some keen insight into the rematch. So if you're planning on betting for this fight, or maybe you get a friendly bet with a friend, relative, whatever, go on over there and see what you can glean from that. Maybe allow you to get the correct pick. Speaking of picks, we are going to be giving our official picks. I know Butcher already took some down in the last couple of episodes, but we're going to make it official now, even though the BDA rules dictate that you can always change your pick about the cutoff is, I think, an hour before the fight, the actual fight, right, Butcher?
Yeah, I think that's the rule. Yeah.
I think so too. So
We don't have.
no. So we have Medrado Garcia. He says Fury by late stoppage. Bucho says Fury TKO Wilder in the 10th. Okay, so Bucho, you've been consistent with your pick for about the last 2 months. Jackson said Wilder by 10 rounds. By the way, Jackson, that's not how you spell his name. It's JAXXXSON. I'm just telling you for the next time. Revolucion says Wilder KO in the 8th round. Johnny Boy says Wilder KO in the 8th. Stu said Fury stoppage the 7th. Gonzalo said Wilder in the 9th. Mark said Fury in the 9th. Rasclot said Wilder KO in the 9th. And Buddy Aces said Fury by decision. We're going to go to the official pick page also, the official BDA pick section in a couple of minutes now. Just before we do that, guys, special episode tonight. The phone lines are going to be opened. We're going to get, obviously, panelists on the Discord. And also, special little something, we're going to open up the gates. We're going to be doing this via StreamYard, too. So we're going to put the StreamYard link up on the chat room, in the chat room, so anybody can click on the link and jump on. So if you're a Wilder fan, a Fury fan, or whatever, and you want to make your pick, you can say your piece here if you live outside of the United States or Canada. So you can talk with us, you can talk to the audience, and give us your pick for this one. And if you want to show us your asshole or your balls or whatever, unfortunately, nobody's going to get to see that on the screen. So if you want to try some funny stuff, go ahead, but nobody's going to be able to enjoy your juicy asshole. All right, Bucho, enough talk about assholes. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Manhammer, Saint Brit, Double A is in there. Master Hand is in there. Save the Animals. Triple J, JJ, shout out to Triple J. Scott Joffrey, Barry McCockiner, Tim Nealon, Blues Boxing, Joe Lopez. And many more to come, I'm sure. Guys, thank you for joining us. Always appreciate you being here. Bucho.
Yep.
First big fight of the year, man. Are you starting to get excited?
I've been excited for a while now.
Really?
And I haven't been this excited in a long time for a fight. AJ against Ruiz, that rematch. I was kind of excited because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I picked AJ in the rematch, but it was a kind of a 50-50 fight in a way. But I wasn't really super excited about that fight. But for this one, fuck, man, I don't know. I'm really, really excited. Especially because I'm going to be honest, I don't really like a lot of the Wilder fans.
Not
all of them, but most of them. It's nasty, man.
Before I go on with that, Bucho, with what you just said, I forgot to tell people that you see the clock down there on the bottom left of your screen. That's the countdown to when we open up the gates. So when those 15 minutes are done, we are going to be putting the StreamYard link in the chat room. So anybody can go into the StreamYard. Anybody. Absolutely anybody. We don't discriminate here at BDA Boxing. In fact, we're the most inclusive channel. I think YouTube's about to give us a plaque for that. The most inclusive boxing channel on all YouTube. I mean, it's fantastic. It's amazing. I see we got Stu on the line. Stu, are you there? Stu.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
yeah, I'm here.
Stu, thank you for being
this
on, man.
page you have it on, Butcho, I have to keep scrolling up, trying to mute it, and then just disappears. That's why I'm struggling to answer in time.
What on Discord?
Yeah. When you scroll up to get your mic and everything, your camera, it's just disappearing. It won't stay on.
I don't know.
Maybe restart the Discord or something, or the whole computer.
I don't use it on my phone. Well, not now, so I'm not sure.
Anyway, Stu, you're gonna like this episode, man, because we're gonna be giving people out there on the chat room a StreamYard link so they can come on the show and speak to the masses, to the BDA audience, to the BDA community, and give their piece. So anybody can come on, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love it.
I thought anyone could come on anyway.
Well, I mean, anybody can call in, but usually people outside of the United States, Canada, they can't call in.
Right.
So the StreamYard link, it's going to be fantastic. What else? Okay, so we got that. Like I was saying, we're going to have that fight week talk. We're going to talk about the fight official picks. So Butcher, you were saying that you don't like the Wilder fans. Is that what you said?
I said not all of them, most of them.
Right.
They're just nasty people, man.
Nasty
people. It is. I mean, I'm gonna do a video on it if I have time. But it's just, you come on, they're biased. I mean, we've had some of these people call on, to the show, and they're saying that there was a conspiracy against Wilder. Like basically, Wilder should have won the fight. Like they're crazy. How why am I gonna start liking these people? I can't.
Well, there you have it, Bucho being a bad Christian, disliking people. No, but you're right. Listen, it's there's a lot of
forgive them for their sins.
There's a lot of distasteful people out there, and that's why I try not to get too into the whole discussion. I mean, if somebody brings some good points on, I'm willing to listen, and that's what we're gonna do here. It's this
You know,
week.
I posted that video about like with that song there. Yeah, I get knocked down, but I could get up again.
Mhm.
In that video, then somebody writes a message saying, "Well, why aren't any of you guys giving credit for to Wilder for knocking him down?" I'm like, "Well, what is that message?"
Yeah, it seems like that's very secure. The guy that they don't know and that they will probably never meet in Deontay Wilder, they feel the need to defend him on every single point. I mean, it's a little bizarre. But listen, don't want to get too much into the Bucho. I wanted to talk to you about. Well, first of all, shit, where's that video there that you put up there? Hold on, I want to get to the predictions. Or people.
I'll send it to you. I'll post it again.
Let me just
There you go. In the chat.
in the chat.
Yeah, I posted a link, guys, in the chat. You see there, King Bucho. In that video, in the comment section, you can post your predictions, and we will be obviously reading them after the fight.
Well, we're gonna read them right now because I
We're
wanna.
gonna read them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. And this is the other thing: is this is a big fight? The undercard stinks, though. Then again, the undercard for Thurman versus Pacquiao looks sensational on paper, and it turned out to be boring. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. So maybe this one, even though on paper the fights look like they're gonna stink, maybe they might turn out to be competitive and entertaining fights. So, real quick, we got 10 minutes, Bucho, before we open up the gates. All right. All right, so we got here. This is a video that Bucho did. Wilder, what's your Wilder versus Fury prediction? And let me just move the clock here. There we go. All right, so Boxing Virus said Wilder TKO Fury in the 10th round. Fish, well, some weird name says Fury 6-round stoppage. Hopefully, I know. Then bring the trilogy. Hard Recall says they. Transnational says, I don't know, but I get a feeling it's going to be another draw. So draw is my prediction. Whoa. Jay Perez says, Wilder wins by questionable stoppage round 6. Matthew Larson said, Fury 11th round knockout. Wizards Leaf said, Wilder and anybody daft enough to attend will be bored to death at some point. Fury's in the ring. Nothing sure. Okay, so he's saying Fury's boring. But I'm not entirely clear on who he picked there. Don Hearn says, Fury 9th round TKO. John Morrow says, one of them gets a good Idnin. All right. The Killer said 11th round stoppage for Fury. Wilder KO round 8 says AA. Bronze Plumber said Fury on points. Joey Ocean says who cares? They have a pre-planned trilogy for fuck's sakes. Fight Scout says Showtime is really pushing Wilder and Wilder only. Expect some foul play again. PBC stoppage win for Wilder. Fury will get wobbled a little bit, and Kevin BD Ice Willis will immediately jump in and stop it. Box 88 says, I don't feel much has changed. Fury's chance of getting an unanimous decision is just as likely as Wilder getting a KO, and so on and so forth. We're going to keep bringing the predictions as we go on. But Butcher, you can see, and Stu, you can see that people are a little bit split. And there's no in between. It's either Fury by decision or Wilder by knockout. And
yeah, it makes sense.
It's the safe bet, isn't it? It's a safe bet. I went the other way, and I went for a Fury KO, which a lot of people are not agreeing with. But you know, you never know with heavyweight boxing. You know, it could happen. You know, I've seen stranger things happen. So I've got a feeling, like I said, it's going to be a different fight. I mean, I'm getting news that Fury's struggling in camp with an injury. I hope that's not true.
No, that's just Hatman boxing, whatever that guy is.
Yeah, I know, but there's a few people going around saying it. I mean, I hope it's just a rumor.
Do you think if he's
Eddie Hearn started that shit, man?
Well, do you think that if he's injured, do you think he's crazy enough to go through with the fight, or?
Yeah, he'll take the fight. He won't put. No way.
Well, again, as the week goes on, the insiders, talking guys like Steve Kim, Dan Rayfield, and those other boys from Twitter and other publications, they'll probably start saying something. They must have heard something. Or they'll be hearing stuff if indeed there is. What's that?
I have a link for you.
Tyson Fury hits back, claims of training camp problems from Metro.uk. By the way, Metro.uk, is that like a yellow journalism type stuff, or is that an actual public newspaper? Is that a respected newspaper? Metro.uk.
You should ask. I don't
Well,
know.
that's what I'm asking. Well, it seems like they cover a lot of sports. So. It seems like they cover a lot of sports, so that maybe they have something going on. But says Tyson Fury rubbishes claims of problems in training camp before Deontay Wilder rematch. Promoter Eddie Hearn claimed on TalkSport this week that he had heard a few things in the camp which had made him change his prediction for the fight from Fury to Wilder. But Fury, who parted ways with previous trainer Ben Davison, blah, 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 says is adamant that his preparation has been close to perfect. So there you have it. He told Fight Hub TV that he's good at what he does, Sugar Hill, and it's awkward to start, but you get used to it, and when you really click with it... Okay, so he's denying that, apparently. He's denying that. And he looks in pretty good shape, too, here, as you can tell. I mean, he's skipping rope. He does look like he's got more definition. Again, this ain't bodybuilding, but it does give us an indication that at least in terms of working out and burning the calories and staying on a strict diet, he seems to be working hard at that. At least that's the way it seems here.
He's definitely in better shape than the first fight. Definitely in better. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think he's gonna stop Deontay Wilder. Now, is he gonna drop Deontay Wilder with a one punch? No. I think he's gonna soften him up, and then he's gonna lead to a stoppage.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question though, Mr. BDA. When Wilder, after he misses with the right hand, is he still dangerous?
Well, listen, when he swings with that left hook, obviously you don't want to get hit by that left hook. It's a big punch, but it's a bit of a slap. And
exactly.
There's not a lot of venom behind that at all. And I've gone for the Fury stoppage by technical knockout. Let's be real. I don't think Tyson Fury's going to pull out a Julian Jackson punch. I don't think that's going to fucking happen. I think it's going to be where Wilder's all over the place like he was against Ortiz, and then the ref just steps in. But that's the way I see it, like I said. But, the thing with heavyweight boxing, you can just never predict what's going to happen. Because, like I said, plenty of things have happened. So I just see, like I said, I think Fury's going to have to go for the stoppage this time. That's why I'm picking him. There's no point fighting the same way because I just don't think he's going to get the decision again. So, you might as well put it all on the line. And I think that's what he's going to do.
Well, I will say one thing, though, about Wilder's left hook is he did catch Fury on the way down with it. In other words, he threw the right hand and immediately followed it up with a left hook. And that left hook did do some damage, although it seemed like Tyson Fury was already stunned by the right hand as he was going down. So the left hook was only the finishing touch, but obviously not the complete finisher because he failed to knock Fury out cold. But he can definitely improve on that. If he can sort of tighten up that left hook, and he could do something. But he's too much of when he gets a guy hurt, he starts flailing. He starts flailing with his. He turns into the windmill meme that we've been seeing. And people say, well, he only does that when a guy is hurt. Yeah, but that's what prevented him from finishing Tyson Fury in the first fight. He wasn't being creative with his punch selection. It was all 1-2 left hook, 1-2 left hook, 1-2.
I mean, he had two. Yeah. Go ahead.
Takes a lot out of you as well when you're swinging like that and missing.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a hell of a lot out of you. So
exactly.
Both fighters, I think, will be better on the night. It's who's going to be the better guy on the night is the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a 50-50 fight. That's why when you look at the prediction thing that you just put up on the screen, then it's like 50-50, isn't it? I mean, Wilder looks like he's probably just pipping it, but it's a very close one. It's hard for anyone to predict this fight, really, because it could go either way.
It is hard, man. Even the bookies, I mean, from what I'm hearing, it's Tyson Fury. Butcher, maybe I'm wrong. You correct me, but I just looked it up, and it says that Tyson Fury is a slight favorite, minus 110. No, what the hell that is?
Yeah, it's very close. It's not even... Yeah, it's very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slight favorite.
But
like I said, maybe Fury left a lot in the camp last time. Maybe he didn't come in feeling strong and full of energy. Maybe that could have been a factor. So, and he was still hurting Wilder at times in that fight. So, like I said, don't. I think Fury's power is a bit underrated at times. I think when you see, I don't think he's going to, like I said, I don't think he's going to pull out the Julian Jackson or the Deontay Wilder shot, but he can stop you. I mean, Derek Chisora is as tough as they come, and he beat Derek Chisora to a pulp and stopped him. Derek Chisora didn't even want no more. So I think he can hurt you. And, like I said, we'll see. I don't think Wilder's the sort of guy that's going to quit on his stool. He's not shown me that, but, I think the ref could be stopping him to save him. That's the way I see it.
You mentioned, Stu, the fact that missing a shot takes a lot out of you. And Deontay Wilder missed a lot in that first fight. Even though, listen, let's keep it real. Both these guys are big heavyweights. Even though Deontay Wilder is skinny for a heavyweight, he is nevertheless 200 pounds or plus pounds and 6'5" or 6'6", whatever he is. So whenever he misses, these are big boys, big heavyweights. They're not going to be throwing 100 shots around. But in about the 7th or 8th round, I believe it was, Wilder was looking tired in that fight. Not exhausted, but he was looking like he was pacing himself despite only really throwing a couple of 1-2s and a handful of combinations throughout the fight. So I don't know how good his stamina really is. Especially since it's Tyson Fury who's controlling the pace or most of it. And so that's what worries me here about Deontay Wilder. Oh, by the way, guys, the phone lines are open so you can call in, give us your prediction, give us your commentary on this fight. The Fight Scout says Julian Jackson fought nobody. Julian Jackson, by the way, one of the big punchers of all of boxing history. Big Boys Boxing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, again, Fight Scout not getting the point. I didn't mention his fucking resume, did I? I was just saying he's a big puncher and he used to spark people out cold on the canvas. I think Julian Jackson's fought a lot of good guys. I mean, I'd say when he knocked out Harold Bomber Graham. Harold Bomber Graham was a fucking massive talent. A very skilled fighter, tipped to go on and do great things. And Julian Jackson caught him with a massive shot, and that's all she wrote, sort of thing. Julian Jackson was a big puncher, and I think that was my point. But yeah, again, Fight Scout's being picky, isn't he?
By the way, hold on a second. We got the countdown is over, and the gates are open. We're going to be opening up the gates. Bucho is going to put the link on the StreamYard link on the description. I mean, on the chat room. So if you want to come into the StreamYard, there's nobody there, by the way, because we're using Discord. But you're still going to be able to talk to the people. You're going to hear everything. So Bucho, go on ahead. The gate is open. All right. Gates are open, people. Who knows what's going to come through? That's the thing with this. You never know what's going to come through. Could be something good, could be something bad. We're professionals here, people. We're professionals. So I don't advise you to do this in your streams, in your podcasts, because things can get quite messy. All right. But Stu, Bucha, myself, we're all professionals. We know what we're doing. So we're taking the risk just for you. Just for you. By the way, I see Stu, you already timed somebody out there.
Man.
Listen, I don't think Fight Scout meant anything derogatory there, Stu. I think he's just trying to make a point about how being a puncher doesn't necessarily mean that you're good. But then again, you just clarified that that's not what you meant either. So
BDA, man, stop thinking the best of everyone. The guy's trolling, man. The guy's trolling like fuck, man. I mean, let's be real. If I said Mike Tyson can punch, he'd fucking say he couldn't. So he's just trolling, and like I said, just giving him a little break, just so he knows, so he can calm down, go and have a cup of coffee,
Cigarette.
think what he said, and come back and stop being a troll, because he's getting petty now and pathetic. To say Julian Jackson is a bum, and he's not a big puncher. He just said Julian Jackson's not a big puncher. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I think we gotta clarify something here. You can be a puncher and knock out. El Dog says no one is in the StreamYard. Yeah, I gotta remind people, the StreamYard is sort of like a containment tank where we want people who never call in, either to the phone number or on the Discord. We want people to come in on the StreamYard and see what happens. Butcher, go on ahead and put the StreamYard link on there again. So even if you don't see anybody, once we let you out of quarantine and into the StreamYard, people are going to be able to hear you, and we're going to be able to hear you, and you're going to be able to hear us. So we're going to want to hear your opinion. But again, this is the StreamYard. We want to hear from people who Never call in. All right. All right. Listen, what I want to say about Julian Jackson is, like Stu said, he knocked out Harold Bomber Graham. All right. He knocked out Terry Norris, and so he was knocking some guys that weren't good, but who weren't getting sparked out by everybody else either. So that's yeah.
Harold Bomber Graham was a very good fighter, man.
Exactly.
Terry Norris is a good fighter, but the point was, I didn't say Julian Jackson's got some great resume and he knocked out world-class fighters. All I said was he's a big puncher. Look, Wilder's fought nobody, but who's going to say that Wilder's not a big puncher? Are you going to say Wilder's not a big puncher because he hasn't fought anyone? And that's a stupid logic.
Mm-hmm.
Like Virtuoso in the chat said, by that stupid logic, that means Gerald McKellen didn't fight anyone. So it means, which you fucking did, if you know anything about boxing. So, I mean, yeah, I just don't get that. Julian Jackson fought some very good guys.
Well, listen, when we did a film study on Mike McCollum versus Julian Jackson, and it was about how to survive a puncher, and I did that, and immediately people went on and said, like, oh, some people, not everybody, but some people said Julian Jackson is overrated by YouTube and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, well, that's not the point. The point is, if you're facing a legit puncher, this is how you get through it. I mean, I don't know. It seems like some people. I think we got some autistic people in the chat room. That's what happens.
I mean, look. Shannon Briggs is a fucking puncher. 36 first round KOs tells me he is a puncher. But I'm not sitting here saying he's some great. Tommy Morrison was a massive puncher, but obviously you could beat Tommy Morrison if you caught him on the button, sort of thing. He didn't have a very good chin himself, but that's usually the case with big punchers.
Mm-hmm.
They like giving out the punishment, but they don't take it too well. I mean. Lucas Matisse is a prime example of that. So it doesn't mean because they're big punchers that they're fucking Gennady Golovkin or they're these monsters. Julian Jackson was a very big puncher. I mean, if he caught anyone on the button, then they were in all sorts of trouble. Let's be real.
All right, now listen, we got somebody on the StreamYard, Mo. Hey Mo, are you there? Mo, can you hear us? Mo.
Hey, how's it going, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. How are you, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me? Fantastic. What do you want to give us your prediction, Mo?
I'm okay, mate. Not too bad, mate.
I think there's a delay here. Mo.
I just want Fury to knock him out so that I can watch him fight AJ.
Sure, yeah. Well, what's your prediction, sir?
Hello?
There's a delay, Stu. I think there's a delay.
I reckon Fury knockout, late rounds, probably 9 or 10.
All right, that's.
I think he's from Australia by the sound of it.
No, he sounds like.
Probably
well, actually, yeah, maybe Australia, New Zealand. Mo, are you from New Zealand or Australia?
I'm actually from Manchester.
What the fuck? we got to complain. Even the British guy got it wrong. Stu, what's the matter with you, man?
That's not an English accent. I don't care what anyone says. It's not an English accent.
Yeah, Mo, are you lying to us? Seriously, where are you from, man?
Yeah, he's an Aussie living in England by the sound of it.
Yeah, come on, confess.
The thing is, the delay is that bad. But fucking hell, I mean, the satellite goes around the planet quicker than fucking
confuse you guys
responds
even
to
more,
it.
I'm actually born and bred in Pakistan. I just live in Manchester.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. You're just calling into troll. All right, so Mo, we got your prediction. You said.
I suppose Mo must be short for Mohammed then, isn't it? If he's from Pakistan.
Well, yeah, I mean that stands to reason. All right, listen, Mo, we're going to let you go because we got some huge delay between you and us. I don't know why, but thank you for your call and thank you for your prediction and stay tuned and hopefully it's a good fight, man. All right? Just going to wait for his response here because I know there's some delay.
My God.
Okay, mate. No worries. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right. Take it easy, my brother. Allahu Akbar. All right. So Ralph Unreal says that was Subash calling. I don't know who that was. By the way, Butcher, if there's people in the quarantine, there's no limit, right? I mean, I can keep as many people in the quarantine.
Quarantine, yes, and you can put in there at the same time 5 or 6.
On
You had
the
a phone
actual.
call. Oh, somebody hung up. Yeah, we're also taking phone calls, people. So,
jeez, all right, we gotta keep our
you
eyes
gotta be
open here.
patient. Gotta be patient.
Yeah,
if you're calling in. All
okay, so now speaking of something, because we're talking about technique here for this Wilder Fury fight, and it's interesting because it just came. Well, not just came out, but this Tuesday there was a conference call for the Wilder Fury rematch, and Wilder said something interesting because Tyson Fury's been talking knockout, knockout, knockout. Wilder says if Fury takes the fight to me, it's gonna be a short night. He says I'm looking for the punch. So if Fury comes at my punch, it's going to be a short night. It's going to be an interesting fight. Interesting fights and short nights, you can count me in, baby, because I don't get paid for overtime. What do you guys think? Is Wilder dangerous on the counter? Can he even counter? Has he ever shown that he can counter pretty well, other than the Spilka fight? Well, what do you guys think?
Listen, if you fucking run onto one of his shots square on with your hands down, like Arthur Spilka, then yeah. But I don't think Tyson Fury. Look, I've preached for Tyson Fury to get inside and rough Wilder up and take his range from him. But obviously, you've got to do it. You've got to get inside by educatedly, sort of something. I mean, you can't just be flying in with your chin in the air. You've got to double up the jab and get inside. Even rush Wilder at times because Wilder's so he hesitates a lot. He hesitates a lot. He reacts to feints, and I think you just got to rush him. And then once you're inside, then you do your work. But yeah, I mean, if you let's be real, if you do what Dominic Brazil did, well, just fucking stroll forward with his hands down, square on, with his chin waving in the air, then yeah, it's night time for Tyson Fury. So look, there's dangers. Any way you come with a game plan for Deontay Wilder, there's fucking going to be dangers. There's no safe way around this. There's a dangerous, no matter what your game plan is, you could get seriously knocked out. So, you just got to, I think the best way to beat Wilder is take away what he does best. And that's that big right hand at range. And, and just don't let him fight at a pace where he can stroll around, where he pulls that right arm back and just strolls around, then he waiting to land it once every 3 rounds. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point,
think
man.
Fury should manhandle him, man. Cut that distance, get on the inside, and just, I don't want to say be dirty, but just be, what's the word I'm looking for, Mr. BDA?
Rough. Maybe like a rough house inside.
Rough him up, man. Rough him up. Wilder can't do shit on the inside.
By the way, David T in the chat room says Dominic Brazil, who is a bigger puncher than Fury, tried to slug it out with Wilder. Look what happened to him. Brazil even landed good shots on the ropes. That tune off. Yeah, but Dominic Brazil has horrible, and I mean horrible technique.
No, let's be real. I've seen more speed from the Tin Man when it rains. I mean, let's be real. Fucking guy's a robot, man. Look. Fury's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to go on the back foot. I think Anonymous in the chat said it perfectly when he said, you've either got to be too far away or too close to him, sort of thing. And that's the best way to do it. If you stand at that range where he can get you on the end of that right hand, then fucking hell, you're in all sorts of trouble. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be times when Fury's going to have to use his footwork and fight on the back foot. You can't just stroll forward, can you, in the pocket for 12 rounds? I get that. But most of the work that Fury should be doing it's like he did. I mean, when he changed it up against Steve Cunningham that time, I know I've said this before, but when he changed from Cunningham, I know they're different opponents, but that sort of game plan is what I'm talking about, where he's just started throwing monster body shots. Do you know what I mean? And that took the life out of Cunningham, and I think that's what you got to do with Wilder. I mean, I think the body shots are going to be key, and he's got to start landing them a lot more than he did in the first. And then roughing and leaning on the guy. The guy's got skinny legs. I mean, what do? You lean all your fucking 18 stone over him and rough him up. Put your forearm in his face if you have to. Just sometimes Tyson Fury's just a bit too nice in the ring, isn't he?
Well, you know what? I thought in the first round, as I was rewatching the Wilder Fury fight, the first one, I did see Fury try to do a little roughhousing in the first round, but then Wilder has quick hands, and I think that shocks sometimes people, and it makes him very afraid of fighting on the inside. And I think Tyson Fury said, you know what? I'm gonna go with what's safe or what he felt was safe, which was to stay on the
Ben
outside.
Davison told him that shit.
You think so, Bucho? Or you
Oh,
know
yeah.
that?
Somebody even said that, no?
Yeah, I
That
think
was
so.
the whole
Yeah,
fucking thing.
yeah, I
And
think you're right,
it
man.
was Freddie Roach who wanted Fury to be a little bit more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, yeah,
obviously, for some fucking strange reason, he wasn't going to listen to Freddie Roach. He was going to listen to Ben Davison.
yeah, that's a good
And
point,
Fury
man.
knows this. Fury knows this. That's why he changed trainer.
Yeah, Bucho has an interesting philosophy because he's one of those guys that believes, look, okay, obviously boxing is dangerous. Obviously, you don't want to get knocked out, but there's a middle way to being aggressive without necessarily being a pussy either. Because even the, for example, Caleb Plant fought this last Saturday against a guy that was outgunned. By the way, L Dog, I'm gonna just say this: the people on the StreamYard, we want to get calls from people that never call in because we can't take calls from outside of the Canada, the United States. So if you want to call in, you can call in via the what's it called, the phone line, or wait a little bit on StreamYard because we're actually trying to get new people to call in. So I mean, we'll take your call in a couple of minutes to get your prediction and your opinion. But for the main, did he give his prediction already? By the way, Bucho, I don't see it on the.
No.
Bucho? Okay. All right. Anyway, listen. What I was gonna say about yeah. So Bucho has this philosophy where listen, Caleb Plant is Saturday. He fought a guy that was outgunned, and even his trainer, Caleb Plant's trainer, was telling him, "Don't do anything stupid. Keep fighting safe," or something like that. They said, "Don't go for the knockout right away." And the commentators were like, "Yeah, that's smart. He doesn't want him running into anything big." But once he started opening up, you could tell he probably could have taken him out earlier. He probably might have been taking a couple more shots, Caleb Plant, that is, but it would have increased his Q rating a little bit. And these people that always try to play it safe 100%. First of all, there's no playing it safe with Deontay Wilder, because if you're on the outside, you give him precisely the distance that he wants to knock you out. Mm-hmm. So at this point, it would be interesting to maybe, like you said, try to see if you can take the fight to him a little bit, make it ugly in terms of on the inside, because neither guy really is that great on the inside, so it's going to be ugly. But at least you take away Wilder's right hand and you try to rough him up and try to wear him down.
Fury's not too bad on the inside. He throws nice short shots to the body. His uppercuts ain't too bad. And like I said, I've seen when you take it to Wilder, he falls apart. His shape goes. He starts swinging wildly with his chin in the air. His feet are all over the place. And Wilder's at his best when you're just letting him fight at some slow pace where he can, get behind the guard and just wait to fucking throw that big right hand. And you've got to take it to him, and then that's when you'll see Wilder. Trust me, I guarantee it. You take it to Wilder, he'll fall apart.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man.
He's very tough though. This is a guy that's not going to quit. This is no Nicholas Walters we're talking about, or Rigondeaux. This guy he'll go on his sword. I can guarantee that. And look, he showed a lot of heart against Ortiz. So this guy's dangerous to the ref fucking waves it off. So you have to put it on Wilder often as you can, and just try and take his tank, and then go for the stoppage. It's easier said than done, isn't it? It's easier said than done, but that's
Absolutely.
what you got to do. I think if Tyson Fury fights the same way as he did in the first fight, I think he gets knocked out.
But what you're saying, it makes sense, and then somebody could say, well, why didn't anybody try it before? And I'm like, okay, that's a good point, but who?
That's quite easy though. That's quite easy.
But who could have tried it? Yeah, exactly. All these guys that Wilder fought couldn't have. That Wilder fought couldn't have pulled this off because they just sucked.
Listen, mate, you've got to be fucking good enough at the end of the day. It's all good having a fucking Pep Guardiola game plan, but if your players aren't fucking good enough, it don't really matter, does it? The same with fighting. You could be Emmanuel Stewart, you could be all the fucking Freddie Roach, Abel Sanchez rolled into one, and if you've got a fucking bum that's got no talent, then it doesn't really matter what game plan you got or how good you are in the fucking camp. So you've still got to have the talent to do it.
Exactly. Listen, Dominic Brazil he would never be able to beat Deontay Wilder, I think.
Well, never in a million years.
I mean,
let's pursue never in a fucking million years. Dominic Brazil was shook to his boots the minute that fight was signed. Honestly, he was scared. He was scared to death. It was like watching Michael Spinks all over again. I mean, that's the fucking was, man.
I will
The
say
guy
this
was
though.
brick.
Luis Ortiz,
Brick
I
to
mean, I
death.
think he was a good boxer. I just think he's, way past his prime. And you can be way past your prime and slow against a guy like Deontay Wilder. You cannot telegraph your punches against a guy like Deontay Wilder because he's gonna catch you. And so, so basically, what I'm saying, none of these guys that Deontay Wilder fought were good enough to be able to defeat a guy like Deontay Wilder.
Well,
None
it's
of them
interesting.
brought the fight to Wilder. Even Ortiz was fighting at a slow pace and fighting in bursts. Just
Jabbing,
didn't have the
moving. Yeah.
an old man didn't have the tank to take it. I mean, I got a bit of stick for fucking throwing Chisora's name in there because if Wilder's going to fight these cans that he's been fighting, then at least fight Chisora. Because
Yeah.
if Chisora's up for it on the night, he could cause you all sorts of bother, and he's going to sit there and he's going to come throw punches, and he's got a fucking very good chin himself, so he's going to just bring different problems to Wilder. But we're just getting the same sort of fighters, aren't we? Areola, Stavern, fucking Molina, all flat-footed bums that just stroll forward with no defense, and that's tailor made for Wilder. Even Ortiz is like that. I mean, I don't think Wilder was ever in that second fight ever worried about Ortiz hurting him.
It's interesting because I do have to give Wilder credit for this is going to be his 11th title defense. Now I know some people are going to say, "Oh, come on, they were all bums, blah blah blah." But okay, even if you don't think they're that great, those guys, he did at least beat him and did it impressively. There's not that many people right now at the heavyweight division. In other words, in order to be able to sustain that type of consistency, you gotta have something to back it up. There's not that many people. I mean, seriously, do you think Steve Vern could have made 10 successful title defenses straight up in a row
against the same opponents that Wilder fought?
I don't even think Steve Vern can beat Gerald Washington. I
don't know about that, man.
Wilder has that.
Well,
Wilder
we're talking about Steven in shape, right?
Didn't Stavern get knocked out in a round by fucking?
Yeah, but he was fat as fuck. He wasn't even.
Yeah, I
ready
know,
for
but he's a bum. That's what I'm saying, Stavern. I mean, this guy. Did you see? I mean, he eats ragu sauce during camp. I mean, he's eating like a fucking Italian mob boss, and then he wonders why.
Yeah, he was eating. It was like if you watch him having dinner, it was like that scene in Goodfellas when they're eating in the prison and don't put too many onions in the sauce. I'm not gonna put too many onions. I just put too big onions. That's what it was like. He was eating like like Stu said. He was eating like a fat Italian mob boss. But look, listen. I give Wilder credit for that. He gets the job done.
Okay, I give Wilder credit for, I guess, for having power.
But okay, but Butcher better than anybody. That it's one thing to have power. It's another thing to know how to use it, because there's guys out there with power that never throw shots and never get.
He's pretty tall, man. He's pretty tall and has power. So already naturally he has these advantages that other fighters do not have. Like Steve Vern, this guy is like 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
I mean, already at a huge disadvantage against a tall guy like Wilder, who just needs to stretch his arms and he's gonna cause trouble for lesser type of opponents who won't even know what to do.
Okay, but he's getting the job done. He's getting the job
against these guys. But why am I gonna give him? I don't understand why I have to give him credit for beating these guys.
Well, you don't have to.
The thing is, what I've noticed about Wilder, right, and this is why, I mean, this guy is always going to be vulnerable. That when he does get you hurt, because he goes wild and he just all game plan and all fucking everything goes out the window. He just starts swinging these windmills. He's quite vulnerable himself at times. I mean, even Brazil fucking rattled him, didn't he? When he was taking shots, he just threw some desperate shot, caught Wilder and rattled him. And I think a lot of the guys that say, you get with Dillian White and Chisora, them sort of guys, that when they're hurt, they just start throwing shots. That could be the best way to get Wilder, because he's all over the shot when he gets hurt. He just starts swinging these fucking wide shots, square on, isn't he? And I think that could be another way to get him. I know it's not. It's a very dodgy way to do it, and then get hurt by him, and then hope you can land one. I mean, it's not the game plan I'd suggest, but that's another way I see a beating Wilder.
Yeah, that's something that I've mentioned before too. That but it's so many of the guys that fight him are they don't want to, because he's so quick and it's intimidating to punch at the same time with a guy who, if he catches you, he can put you out. But it's true. I mean, you look at the film in slow motion. Oh, hold on a second. BDA Smith is my alter ego is going to make an appearance. That's right. You look at the film, Adams, brother. You look at the film evidence, you look at the ratings, you see he's open, baby. He's open, baby. And he's going to get knocked out. Somebody's going to get knocked out in this fight. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. All right, listen. No, but it's true.
Is that BDA Smith?
That's BDA Smith right there. Always got to make it
Okay.
controversial. Always got to bring the controversy. But it's true. Look, you look at the film, it's right there in front of everybody. Wilder drops his hands when he's punching, but nobody,
Yeah.
well, nobody, very few people want to take. One of the guys that had the balls to do it was Luis Ortiz, but he was too slow on the trigger, man. A little bit too slow.
Yeah.
But Bucho, and by the way, people, the StreamYard is open. I'm going to put the link up on the chat again so you can call in. I'm probably going to take the call from L Dog in a couple of minutes. So stay tuned there, L Dog. Don't go anywhere. But yeah, Bucho, just to go back to the whole thing about you not giving Wilder credit. You've said before, though, that he sucks, his technique sucks.
No, wait, hold on. He sucks. He's a bomb. No, I'm not impressed with what he has done, knocking out these opponents.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what. I give Wilder credit for, I guess, knocking down Tyson Fury, because I think Tyson Fury has a very good chin. And everybody's gonna mention the Steve Cunningham haymaker thing, but I mean that would have knocked down anybody, I think. And he was a cruiserweight. Listen, a haymaker like that from a guy that's above 200 pounds is gonna drop you, man.
That's right.
That was a haymaker. Like, he loaded that up. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Let's just go real quick to StreamYard because he's been waiting for a while there. Let's see. L Dog, are you there? L Dog, you're on StreamYard. I don't have him muted. Probably got tired of waiting. Johnny Boy in the chat room says, if Wilder wins, you have to give him credit. If Fury wins, you have to give him credit.
Yeah,
Point
man.
blank.
How's it going?
Hey, good, good. By the way, can you hear me okay?
Is there a delay?
Yeah, probably, man.
Why is there a huge delay? It's insane.
Just let him come on Discord for the night.
Yeah, I can hear you on YouTube, but I can't hear you on the StreamYard.
Fuck, there's a huge delay, Bucho.
No, he can't hear you on StreamYard.
Nah, he probably can, but it's just there's
No,
a
he
huge...
just said he can't. No, that's
Now,
probably what was happening. They're answering. They're listening. This is what's happening. They're listening to you through YouTube. Like the other guy was doing probably the same thing. And on YouTube there is a delay.
So
that's probably what's going.
So how the fuck is there any way to fix this?
Change the sound up. But we did some tests and it worked. So I don't understand.
Yeah, it's probably your problem, guys. We're gonna blame it on the view.
On mute. That's weird. They can't hear you. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna call you through StreamYard.
Go ahead.
Continue with the show.
Okay. All right. So hang tight there, L Dog. We're gonna try to get this fixed. Meanwhile, I want to tell Stu. I want to tell you something. So okay. So Wilder says that if Fury jumps on him, it's gonna be short night. It's gonna be night. Do you think Deontay Wilder can win a decision? Because the last time there were some shenanigans with the decision. This time Fury has Bob Arum in his corner, backing him up. Do you think he can get a decision, Wilder, there, or do you think vice versa, Fury can get a decision?
Well, I think he knows he can get a decision. He's got that covered, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Heyman's got that covered. Of course, he can get a decision. But whether he wins it on anyone else's cards is another matter. But I think Wilder's going to go for the KO. I don't think he's going to be very busy, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be like he was against Ortiz, which means that he's not going to win on points by fighting like that against Fury. He's going to be losing rounds. And, that's the game plan I see with Wilder fight. I think he's going to fight like that all the time now. Because, like I said, when Wilder's not throwing punches, he's not making loads of mistakes. So he's a harder man to beat. And obviously, when he gets that right hand right, then you see what happens. So I think he's going to put all his eggs in one basket for me, and that's the right.
Bucho, sorry, sorry, Stu, to interrupt. Bucho, I just realized what the fucking problem was. I wasn't on the hangout there from the StreamYard. That was the problem. Bucho, you there? Bucho. All right, let me send him. Yeah, it was my mistake, man. I'm not used to the StreamYard. Okay, but jump on StreamYard if you're new. If you're new and you can't call in and you're outside of the United States, this is the perfect place to do so. All right, L Dog, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Fantastic.
How's it going?
So, good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. Just waiting. I think Stu is pretty much spot on. soon as someone takes it to Wilder, he's gonna fold. And I think, you know, when as soon as someone in their prime doesn't fear Wilder and takes it to him, he's just gonna fold up, man. That's how I see this fight going. I see Fury coming out southpaw, jabbing Wilder's face off with what is his dominant hand, and I think it's gonna start to swell Wilder up. And then he's gonna start throwing that right hook around that really weak and awful tight guard that Wilder has. I don't even know if you can call it a tight guard. It's like a loose guard, man, because every punch thrown at him when he puts his hands up just seems to get through.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, none of the guys who he fights have the balls to fight him, man. They're all afraid before it even starts. I think Fury getting knocked down twice is going to give him that confidence edge where he thinks, you know, I've been hit with his best shots. I can take it. You know, I'm coming here to take you out. That's what I think is going to be the difference in this fight. I got Fury by
That could be his
stoppage.
biggest mistake, though. That could be his biggest mistake, bro. Do you know what I mean? And then Dade, just because the last one didn't knock you out, don't mean the next one won't. I mean, this is the thing. So that'd be a real dangerous game to play for me. I mean, look, the way I said Fury's got to fight is a dangerous way to fight, full stop. But there's obviously educated ways to get inside, you know, and I think that's what he's got to do.
Yeah, fighting Wilder will always be
But to sit
dangerous,
there,
but this clown
yeah, but
Ben Davison,
my
man.
point was, hang on a sec, bro, just 1 second. My point was, for him to willing to take Wilder's punches to get his own off, if you get that'd be a fucking very dangerous game to play.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I've said all along. People believe that, oh, well, he's taking his shots and he's got off the canvas, so that means he can't get knocked out. No, that's a fallacy. Every punch is not the same. 2 punches are not always going to be the same turnaround. Every time is a different situation, in a different moment. So yeah, that's not a guarantee. Oh, he took his shots, he's going to be able to take them again. You know, it's all depends on the game plan and how he protects himself.
Does that mean that Fury can knock out Deontay Wilder?
Fury's gonna knock him out, man. That's my prediction. I think the fight will be stopped around 8 to 10. I think his face is gonna swell up. You know, Ben Davison is the reason Fury didn't get the win in that first fight. He's telling him you can win this fight with your jab alone. Every time Fury threw a right hand, it backed Wilder up. It didn't necessarily hurt him, but it stunned him and it put him in a position to get hurt. And I just think when Fury starts to take this educated aggression approach where he's throwing his power hand, you know, he's maybe putting a hook behind it, he's going to really start to hurt Wilder. And that's what I think Sugar Hill was brought in to do, was to get Fury to sit down on his power punches just a little bit more. You know, fighting Wilder is always going to be dangerous, but you just have to take the risks, like Freddie Roach was saying. Otherwise, you've got no chance in winning.
And like I said, with the jab as well. I mean, the jabs are obviously a very good weapon to have, but if you time it wrong or get it wrong, I mean, you could be in a lot of trouble. So, you know, it's best to, like I said, back Wilder up. I don't think he fights that. I don't think he can fight very good on the back foot at all. To be honest with you, I've not seen it. He's not one of these counter punches that's looking. I mean, just back him up, mate. Don't let him come forward to you with that fucking right arm pulled back, waiting to land it.
Yeah, and I got another prediction as well. I've already been trying to predict and think about all the excuses Wilder's going to make and his fanboys are going to make. And I think they're going to blame it on JD's. And I think they're going to blame it on him because they're going to say he was too emotionally attached to Wilder and he pulled him out when he should have let Wilder go the 12 because, you know, Wilder always carries that power. I think that's going to be the excuse they're going to use to try and get a third fight. And I really hope we don't see a third fight because when Fury knocks Wilder out, I mean, he's too up in my eyes.
Yeah. Fury won't fight Wilder again. You can write that down here. You know, it's not going to happen. Either way, whoever wins, that fight will not happen again. I think if Fury wins, I think he's going to fight Joshua next. I think he'll have to give that belt up if he has to, but it won't matter. The fans will know who the real champion is. Wilder, you know, Wilder gets pushed aside.
Exactly, man. And I just want to say the real The real heavyweight king is Filip Hrgović. He's coming for everyone. You know, anyone can get it. He's the Cam man. He's going to knock out Joshua. He's going to knock out Fury. He's going to knock out Wilder. Man, this guy's the real heavyweight killer. Not no
I've
Fury,
not seen.
Wilder, or Joshua. I'll tell you that much. But
Yeah.
that's me, guys. You have a great day, and make sure to support Filip Hrgović, man, the greatest heavyweight alive.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, you're seeing something I'm not right now. I mean, let's be real, failed to impress me, to be honest. Very tough, basic Eastern European fighter, you know, tough as nails, does the basics well. You know, he's going to be a tough fight for anyone, but not exactly, doesn't do anything great. He's not exciting on the eye. I mean, fucking hell. You know, for me, I mean, very, very overrated on this show.
Yeah.
Hans, Bobby.
All right. Well, it's Mr. BDA.
I told you. Didn't I give you a message?
There's no notifications, man.
Shut up. By the way, we got somebody on the. Did L Dog drop out? Did L Dog drop out?
Yeah.
Okay, we got somebody else. Hold on a second. We got somebody else. Boxing Ego is on the line. Boxing Ego, you're on the line.
The white channel. Why do all the white guys eat salad? Block them.
Why do all the white people eat salad? All right, he dropped out. All right, listen. Stay on. I'm not gonna fucking kick you out. Just come on in and say what you gotta say. All right. Don't try to. Don't think. Don't get your. Cause was that Bucho?
I'm blickety blacker than black. I'm black.
All right, listen.
No, it was the troll, man. I don't know who the fuck that was.
I don't mind if people want to troll, but at least it's make it more than 5 seconds because I didn't even get the joke. Yeah, white people salad.
We need to have a conversation.
All right.
Well,
listen.
you fucking did. You did open the asylum up. So what did you expect?
Well, I expected something of quality, man. Not some somebody who comes in for 5 seconds. All right. Here's the link right up there. StreamYard. Come on in. Call in. Start. You gotta fucking turn your camera off. You're creeping me out, man. I'm not gonna fucking answer the call until you turn that camera off. No, it's seriously. Can you see it, Bucho? He's just standing around there, moving the camera.
Okay, guys, you can also call in the phone number. I'm gonna post it right now. It's on your screen also.
How come everybody sounds louder than I do? This is disgusting. It's not gonna work out. By the way, Gonzalo's here. I haven't even. Gonzalo, I gotta ask you something. You said you're not hyped up for the fight. That's what you said on the Discord.
Wow.
I'm going to get, and it's right around that time coming soon. We're a few days away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things have been moving slowly. The wheels have been turning kind of slow, but in general. But now we got this big one, and it's been like over a year, and we know what these two guys bring to the table as far as like personality wise, the talk, the back and forth. That's kind of played out, and in the ring we saw what these two guys are made of, and what most likely is going to happen, but that's not a guarantee. When we think we're going to see something in the ring, usually what happens is like totally different as far as like game plan. But there's not too much different things that Wilder can do. And Fury also, he's really a boxer. He's not that heavy a puncher, although he's got knockouts. There's not too many things differently that he also can do. But we'll see. We'll see. It all depends on the game plan and the weight, how they come in, and the strategy. The strategy.
It's very rare. I mean, very rare rematch is better than the first. I mean, when fighters make adjustments, and usually the second fight's just not as good. And I think that could be the case with this one. Like I said, unless there's a brutal knockout, and then maybe that could be the case. But yeah, I think Wilder's going to be very cagey. I don't see him throwing a lot of shots. So and it's whether you just don't know what Fury's going to do on the night. I mean, it's just guesswork with him. So let's just hope he does come and bring it, put it on Wilder.
I tell you what, though, man, I am going to be on the edge of my seat because you just don't know what's going to happen. It reminds me of this Trinidad Pacquiao, the Trinidad Pacquiao era, where you would go into the main event, and as soon as it started, you feel your adrenaline pumping because you know at any moment it can end. And that's that's what we have with Deontay Wilder. People are talking about how, oh well, if he gets a knockout, what if he catches Fury cold in the first round and takes him out? That's a very, very high possibility.
Oh,
I'm
fuck
telling
me.
you, it can happen.
Please don't let that happen, please. God,
Well, you know
never
what?
hear the last of it.
It's interesting that most people are rooting for Fury because they just don't want to hear from the Wilder fans. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna tell it straight here. A lot of Wilder fans are crazy and they're annoying. They have to be some of the most annoying fans, even more annoying, and I'm gonna say it, than the Floyd Mayweather fans, because they seem to defend the actions of a guy who went after a pregnant woman. Actually, I don't know if Brazil's wife was pregnant, but let's just add that in there to the mix. He talks about he wants to get pregnant. He wants to go inside Fury, i.e., sexually assault him. He's talked, he beat up a mentally ill guy in Charlie Zelenov, and I said that on Johnny Boy's podcast. A lot of people laugh about, oh, Charlie Z, he's the king of the trolls. People make videos about the guy calling him the king of the trolls. He's not a troll. He's mentally ill. He's schizophrenic or has some form of. I don't know.
Yeah. They'd defend Wilder if he was the Washington sniper, man. Fuck it up.
Yeah. Wait, the Washington sniper, was he the one? That was the two guys, right? That going around the white van, I think.
That was the guy and his son, weren't it? They fucking kept doing it in the car, didn't they? Had this little compartment in the car, and they was hiding the gun. They were sniping people out. They couldn't work out where the shots were coming from, but it was coming from a car, weren't it?
Well, listen, at least
it wouldn't be that much of a surprise, BDA, if Fury hits the canvas again. Because look, he's done it to everybody. I couldn't recall for certain if he had knocked down the Canadian guy. What's the guy's name? Where he garnered the title the first time around in 15.
Stiverne.
Stiverne. He dropped them the first time. I completely forgot, but then I rewatched it. He hit the canvas too. So he's knocked out everybody. But then the two guys that gone the distance, they've been knocked down in the fights. So throughout his full 42 fights or 41 fights, everybody's touched the canvas at least one time.
Well,
it wouldn't be a surprise if he get dropped at least.
Yeah. The only way Fury gets dropped again if he's clowning around, hands low, and he gets too confident, whatever, gets dropped. Because Wilder, it's not like he can set up that right hand. There's no setting up. It's usually the mistake of his opponents that allow Wilder to just land that right hand. He just throws it like a maniac. Look at that Spilka knockout. Man, come on. Spilka wanted to get knocked out. I think unconsciously he wanted to get knocked out. Who the hell does that?
Okay, come on, man.
He jumped and launched in. It was ridiculous. He was way too confident, man, because why wouldn't you be? Fucking Spilka was winning that fight.
All right, Butcher, you gotta take away the audio there because you're coming in hot now because you changed your audio settings.
Bobby.
Right. Okay, stop it, man.
Yeah.
you people has no context.
One thing with Fury, although he's 6'9", 265 or 70, how big he's gonna come in, he is a big target. But with his hands extended, he most likely has a longer reach than Wilder. So for Wilder to throw that whipping right long hand and be able to get leverage and torque and be able to connect it from a distance with momentum coming behind it would be kind of hard to hit him with that full force, because if Fury is throwing out that jab and he's got his arms extended, he won't be able to connect with that devastating force.
Well, listen, we got this guy boxing. We got this guy boxing Eagle back on the stream.
Why do all the black guys dance? Why do all the black guys eat watermelon?
All right, can I ask you, Boxing Eagle, which Eastern European country you're from?
Shooters, block them.
All right, he left. My God,
what the fuck's going on here? What is going on here?
I don't know. Listen, he was clearly an Eastern European guy, one of those Eastern European guys that, for some reason, dislikes.
The fucking Golovkin fan.
Yeah, Golovkin's the best.
Russian boxing.
Bet your life, man. Bet your life is a fucking Triple G fan.
Yeah, David T says the Russian boxing eagle. All right, listen, let's get back to the boxing.
Boris Eagle.
just to okay, a couple of things here we got to clarify. Gonzalo, you said Deontay Wilder, everybody that fights him hits the canvas at least once. That's almost true, but like St. Britt said in the chat room, Duhapas didn't touch the canvas. But that doesn't change what you said, because it's true. Almost everybody he fights gets dropped, so the power is legitimate. It doesn't really matter whether he's fighting bombs or whatever.
Yeah,
At least the way he's dropping them. The way he's dropping them indicates that his power is legit. Anybody can get dropped from his shots. Anybody.
All right,
you got to remember, with a lot of these
he gets the technical knockouts as well.
Yeah.
The
With a lot of these bums, right? They make a living out of taking fucking beatings, so they get quite crafty as they get older. They get in a survival mode. And they get quite hard to fucking. I'm not saying that's the case with Wilder, but when you see a lot of these guys that've got these knockouts, they're knocking these guys out. Oh, well, they're only knocking out bums. They've still got a chin, and you still have to catch it. I mean, some of these guys are quite awkward to stop. So, just because you haven't fought the best fighters in the world doesn't mean you're not a puncher. And anyone that says Deontay Wilder is not a puncher, they're just a hater, man. They're just hating the guy because they can't say a good word about him. Because I mean, I'm no fan of Wilder, but I got eyes and they fucking work. The guy punches very, very hard, and I wouldn't want to be on the end of one. Just let's just say that. So yeah, I mean, let's keep it real here when we talk about power. Just like Julian Jackson earlier.
Yeah, there's guys that have power and can knock you out early because they got the speed and are fresh and strong. Like I give example, Dimitri Andrade and Caleb Plant. They can hit you really hard and dead center and drop you. But as soon as, like after the 6th round, they don't have any KOs. Why? Because even though they're fast, they're not. They don't have concussive power. And maybe Wilder doesn't throw as often. That's a fact, and he's a heavyweight. But he's got that power where it carries late.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's got the power because he's not being pushed. He's fighting at a real slow pace, his own pace. No one's ever dictating the pace of Wilder. No one's pushing him back. No one's cutting off the ring against him. They're just strolling forward like fucking robots, waiting to get knocked out. And this is my point. So of course he's going to be fresh in the 11th for 12. He's thrown fucking 5 punches around. I mean, was it even that against Ortiz? So yeah, of course the guy's a fit guy. Look at him; he's in tremendous shape. So he could do 24 rounds fighting at that pace. My point is, can he do it when he's got an 18-stone man leaning on him, roughing him up, hitting him with short uppercuts to the body, and fucking,
That's right. That's absolutely right.
All right. Before we continue,
that's the approach.
Before we continue, so hold on a second, guys. We got John on the stream, Johnny Boy on the stream. Johnny Boy, is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
What are you doing calling on the StreamYard? Hold on. Before we get to you, we got a phone call to 510. You're on the air. 510.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ross Clot.
Oh, Rasclat. Thank you for calling in, man.
Undefeated in boxing talk.
That's right. All right. Now, you already gave us your prediction, but I suspect you got something to say, something to add about this fight, right?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all rooting for Fury to win. I think it's pretty clear that Wilder's been fighting bums all his career, and his claim to fame is beating a 50-year-old Luis Ortiz twice. So, and then his fans are kind of stupid. So at the end of the day, we all want Fury to win because at least Fury shows real boxing skills. Not to say that Wilder doesn't have boxing skills, because knocking out people, that is a skill. You knock out that many fighters, it's a definite skill. But you have to take in consideration when you fight a string of Uber and Lyft drivers and grocery bag cart pushers, you have to take that in consideration that he fought bums. Brazil had a great set of a pair of titties. Luis Ortiz looks old. Like, all these guys are bums. So we're all rooting for Fury. Unfortunately, and I said this before, Fury didn't look as good didn't look good in his last fight, and he hasn't been focused on boxing alone. So, in my prediction, with Wilder having 2 great wins against 2 bums, his confidence and his motivation is skyrocket high, and I think he's going to knock Fury out.
Oh,
yes, exactly. I'm writing it down.
Look, I'm picking Fury, but I'm worried about this fight. Of course I am. And what worries me more is that Wilder's been quite calm and collective in the build-up. I mean, he wasted so much energy before, just ranting and raving and acting like a fucking lunatic. And unnecessary energy being wasted. This time he's cool, collective. I mean, doesn't seem to be that nervous like he was. I think he was very nervous in the first one. And that worries me as well. That's there's a lot of worrying factors in this fight for me as a Fury fan. So yeah, I mean, I'll be glad when this one's over, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, anything's possible.
But look, I'm trying to be fucking neutral here, but because I think Fury is going to win. But obviously, I believe that Wilder's a very dangerous guy, and if he did win, it wouldn't surprise me. But then again, Fury's got a lot of things he can do well, and if he's at his best, then Wilder would struggle to even touch him. So, there's that factor to take as well. This is going to be a very, very intriguing fight from the start. Even when punches not going to be thrown, you're going to be on the edge of your seat because you just know that anything could happen at any time. And I think that's what makes this fight so exciting. First time I've been up for a fight in a long time. I mean, I was losing the will to live watching some of these fucking bums and these mismatches on these cards. It's just. But this is when it's got my appetite going again.
Well, I mean,
Rascal, you got a message for the chat?
Yeah.
Rascal, you got a message for the chat?
Oh, no. What I wanted to say in this era, right? Back in the day, there were a lot of punchers. But because there were a lot of skilled boxers in, the puncher, a lot of the times, would lose. In this era, the boxers, these heavyweights, lack basic boxing skills. So many of them lack basic boxing skills that Wilder, who has absolutely no boxing skills whatsoever, gets away with it because he has the power. Tyson Fury has every tool in the book to defeat Wilder as he did the first time. The problem is he needs to be focused on boxing alone, and I feel like there were way too many distractions after the first fight. With that being said, this is why I'm going. I think Wilder is going to win. I don't want Wilder to win. I like Wilder, but I don't want him to win because of his fans. They're morons.
What is it about the Wilder fans that makes them morons? I'm just curious.
Well, see, here's the thing. There's a division, right? So, like, you have this stupid division with the UK and the United States, which I always thought was stupid. I think there's both great fighters on both sides of the pond. So how come we can't just come together and like boxing as one? It's very stupid. Number two, you have this stupid debate on who was better. Listen, you got guys, Wilder fans, who think Wilder would beat Mike Tyson, would beat George Foreman, would beat Muhammad Ali, with like Larry Holmes, like as if Wilder has fought anyone on his resume as good as any of these guys. Listen, I like Fury. Fury's a great fighter, but he has a bad resume also. Like, his resume isn't that impressive. So with that being said, we're at a skill level of heavyweight where we have one guy that has power, another guy that has boxing skills. Is he focused enough to win the fight? Because I think 80% Fury will defeat Wilder 9 times out of 10. It's just that he has to be focused, and I hope he's focused.
Well, I gotta tell you, Rascal, you bring up some very good points about the division between boxing fans, the idiocy of some certain fans, of how they love to ride certain fighters as if they know them, as if that fighter's gonna pay the rent.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to say some of these guys would I'm being serious here. I think some of these guys would and probably enjoy seeing Wilder fuck their women in front of them. That's just the way some people act. But listen, we got your prediction also down. I think Bucho. Oh shit, he just took it down. But yeah, we're gonna. No, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, we're gonna continue with the predictions. Thank you for calling in, Rasclat. And anything else you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, I do want something to say. I just want to say, man, thanks for having me on. Can you please tell the chat room I'm not doing any more auditions. I own 2 companies, and one in porn, and I don't do gay porn. So I don't do gay casting porn, okay? Can you please tell Jason Bourne and the rest of those clowns, stop hitting me up on personal messages with gay casting couch. I don't do gay casting couch, you stupid bum. Peace.
All right, take it easy. That was the one and only Rasclot bringing the heat as
the,
always.
the Black Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, we got Johnny Boy also here on the Discord. Johnny Boy, can you hear us? Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy, can you hear us? Johnny Boy. Okay, because he said on the he said on the YouTube that he couldn't hear us, so maybe he can't hear us. But anyway, going back to this fight here. And by the way, guys, don't forget the StreamYard, the portal is open. Click the link there and come on in and tell us what you think about this fantastic fight that we got coming up. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 2 in Las Vegas, Nevada, pay-per-view. All right, here's somebody.
But no one's got the fucking balls or the heart. Bunch of Andre Durrells in the chat.
That's what I was going to say.
we have the stream. Anybody can join. You just click the link and it's pretty easy.
Yeah, come on, Durrell brothers. Come on.
There's
It's
no
amazing.
excuses now.
When Johnny Boy did it, a shitload of people were jumping. And this one, whoops, nobody. It's like they think we're going to fight with them or something. We just want to hear your opinion, man. We want to hear your opinion, want to hear your predictions. So come on
don't worry, guys. I won't bite. Guys.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think they're afraid of you, Stu. You come on too strong a little bit, man. A little bit.
I've got that Ivan Drago aura about me, you know.
That's right. The British Drago. I wanted to say something here. Tyson, Deontay Wilder usually comes up with some pretty interesting ring entrance attire, as you can see here. Now, there's some rumors. I don't know if you guys can see it on the YouTube page, but there's a rumor that this is what he's gonna be. He's gonna come in dressed as. He's already auditioned it that way, as you can see there. I don't know if that's actually true. I don't know if that's actually what Deontay Wilder's gonna wear into the ring, but it would not surprise me. Also, the other thing I wanted to bring up here is, hold on a second, give me 2 seconds. Oh yeah, okay, because Ring TV, if you go over to Ring TV, and I'm gonna put it up in a couple of minutes later on, the predictions that people did on Ring TV. They did a compilation of predictions. Michael Montero said, I'm just picking one here from that was interesting. He said, Michael Montero speaking Wilder by KO, and he said, coming to their first fight, Deontay Wilder was yet to face an elite heavyweight. Fury, meanwhile, had gone 12 rounds with Klitschko, a future Hall of Famer, 3 years prior. The experience served him well against Wilder in Los Angeles, but the American did plenty of learning on the job himself. He will now bring 12 rounds of elite level experience into the rematch. The question is, who has the momentum here? My thing about momentum is, okay, yeah, momentum can play a factor into the fight. In other words, if somebody's looking great for a fight, obviously that you can pick that guy or put that factor in there. But let's not forget, it's what happens on the night of the fight itself that's more important. By the way, we got somebody on the StreamYard. I think it's Apology, man. Apology, is that you?
Damn, how did you know?
Well, because you put the same picture that you always put on the Discord.
No.
By the way, Johnny, I see Johnny Boy on the Discord trying to talk, but we can't hear him. What the fuck is going on?
Right here.
Okay, you're there.
Yeah. Sorry, I was eating some THC syrup.
All right, we didn't need to know that. The authorities didn't need to know that either. But by the way, hold on a second before we continue. What's his name? Apology. Come into the fucking Discord, man.
I think, dude, my fucking videos this morning got bombarded by gay trolls, bro.
Oh yeah. I want to talk about that a little bit. But hold on a second. Let me just go back to the StreamYard. We got Mo who's back, and I think now we can hear Mo. Are you there?
Hi man, how's it going, mate? You're right.
Good.
That's better, Mo. That's better.
That's a much better, Mo. Stay on. By the way, Bucho says, "Do we have a call, Bucho? I don't see anybody. Oh, I think they just
no.
No, okay. All right, Mo. Now we can hear you. Let's get this straightened out. You said you're from Pakistan. You say you live in Manchester, but you got a fucking mix between an Australian and a Kiwi accent. What's going on here? What game are we playing?
Well, as a teenager, I've watched a lot of cricket, and you get Australian commentators, so that's where I picked up the Australian twang.
What? So now, hang on a minute. So you watch a bit of cricket on TV, now you sound like fucking Shane Warne. What's going on?
Yeah, he turned into he turned into Crocodile Dundee just by watching cricket, man.
He's turned into Ricky Ponting. What's up?
That's the only sport we have in Pakistan. And boxing, obviously. I love boxing.
Well, you know what? I heard on the news that there's going to be a gay Muslim parade in Britain. I forget which city, so I'm pretty sure things are going to get very explosive in the next couple
Yeah,
of days.
there was a gay Muslim parade in my fucking chat this morning.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
What?
We're gonna get to that. But anyway, Mo, sorry, just remind me, what was your prediction again? You said Fury by knockout, I think.
I honestly believe Fury's going to stop him late rounds. The reason why I believe that is Wilder panics on the back foot. And if you watch the later rounds of the fight, even when Fury went down in the 12th, when he got up and he got his bearings back, he actually put Wilder on the back foot and actually hurt him with, I think it was right hand and a left hook. Wilder was gassed.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that earlier too, during the podcast. Wilder seemed to me like he was a little bit tired, despite just throwing a handful of shots, like Stu also mentioned. I think you're right, man. I think Bucho and yourself and the other people picking Fury by knockout, I think you might be onto something. But how worried are you going to be during the fight that maybe, just maybe, Deontay Wilder lands that nuclear bomb of his and everything just explodes?
To be honest with you, Fury has just a great IQ. I am an Anthony Joshua fan, right? But I do respect Fury as a boxer. He's such a big guy, and also his ring IQ is very good. I think he got caught twice in the first fight, and I think that was because he lost focus. I think he switched on Fury for the full 12 rounds, which I think he has to be to win this fight. I genuinely believe he stopped Wilder.
Oh, guys, what do you think about that? Well, let's get to either apology or well, yeah, let's get to apology. Apology, what do you think about that? I don't know if you heard what he said. All right.
I agree, man. He's gonna knock him out later. Listen, that's the thing. Wilder starts to panic, and I remember David Hayes said, "I've never seen Wilder crack, right? Like mentally crack, whatever." And I think David Hayes is wrong because Deontay Wilder did crack in the 12th round. When he saw Tyson Fury get back up, you could see in Wilder's face, he's like, "Oh shit! What else can I do?" And it's true, he didn't know what to do after that. That was it.
I mean, I think when David Hayes talking about crack, like I said, I mean, like, just totally lose it in a boxing room. I don't think you're going to see Wilder crack like that. But when I mean crack, I mean crack under pressure. I mean, sort of like the shape goes, the game plan goes out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Then the windmills start coming in, his chin start to be exposed, and that's when you can get him, sort of thing. So, yeah. But I mentally, I think he's quite strong mentally, Wilder. I don't see I don't see. I don't think he's going to do an Oliver McCall in there. Let's just say that. I mean, I think the guy's quite mentally strong, and I think to break him, I think you're going to have to do it with punches. You're going to have to stop this guy, or the ref's going to have to get in the way, sort of thing. I don't think this guy's he's not going to quit. He's going to give it his all, and he's going to keep swinging, even when you hurt him. So he's always dangerous, but I think Fury can pull it off. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder gets the stoppage. Just put it out.
I wanted to mention something about Fury's last opponent, Otto Wallin. I think he's a decent fighter, and he might prove to be held to a lot of heavyweights. The thing that made that a competitive fight, even though Fury won clearly, I'm gonna say 8-4. He had that big cut. Is that Otto Wallin was very, very aggressive. Okay, he was very aggressive. He might be, he could get caught by a big puncher in his future fights and get knocked out. But in this fight against Fury, he was very aggressive. And that style is totally the opposite of Deontay Wilder's. Deontay Wilder's not going to press him forward and be aggressive.
Yeah, 100%. When people say, well, Fury looked bad in his last fight, but they're completely different opponents. One's compact and stocky and is a punching bag. He's used to taking shots. When another one's like a boxer sort of puncher, that very negative and is not used to taking punches. They're just completely different sort of fighters. So, every fight's different.
That's true.
It's when Wilder looked bad in his last fight as well.
Oh, apologies around.
Yeah, apology,
he's put the dumbbells. He's put the dumbbells down for 2 minutes, and
he's putting, yeah, he's putting the dumbbells and the injection, the steroid injection out of his ass and coming in here to
Yeah, I
talk
think
this.
apologies. I think he's actually Daniel DeBar's fitness instructor. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And listen, Mo, anything else you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, I'll just leave you guys to discuss this. Do you guys actually buy what Fury says that he's gonna knock him out in 2 rounds? Because I don't think where he should even try to do that. I think if Fury loses, for me, it's if he gets knocked out early in the fight. Actually, what do you guys think about that? But thank you anyway. Much appreciated. Great listening to you guys. Take care.
All right, take it easy, Mo, and tell the guys at the whichever international authority agency you work at that you're still doing good undercover work. All right, man.
The only thing,
All right, take it easy,
aside
man.
from that being a joke or Fury trolling, that I can make a case for why he might believe he can do that is because he dropped Tom Schwartz in the second round. Now, this is a continuation of the first Wilder fight. And if he hurt him in the 12th round after he got knocked down, got up, and it's a continuation because he knows his style already, that if he presses him forward, like everybody's mentioning, he's going to get fucking frustrated on the back foot. That's why he might believe he can knock him out in 2 rounds.
If
Because
you
he's just picking up, and this is the 13th round of the first fight. Continuation.
Yeah, I don't see those 2 rounds. I could see it the other way. I could see Fury getting slept into, but not Wilder. I think if, like I said, I've gone for a 7th round. If Fury fights how he says he's going to fight, I'm just going by what he's telling us. I mean, he could be tricking us. He could be, come out there and he could be on the back foot again, trying to steal it with a jab, and that'd be the wrong thing to do. So, if he does what he says he's going to do, I think I think the 7th, 8th round, I think you'll see Wilder start to fall apart, and that's when I think he can get the stoppage.
It's interesting though because I mean that's the question. If Fury walks him down, let's face it, the guy's 6'7". I don't buy that shit that he's 6'9". He's not 6'9". He's 6'7.5" maybe. But even at 6'7.5", he's probably gonna come in at 265 or 270 pounds. That's a lot of mass to move. The guy's not that quick. And if he wants to work his way inside, he can't do it trying to do the shoulder roll because if he leaves that forehead exposed, if Wilder lands on the forehead, on the temple, he's putting him down, man. And you know what?
I always leave mine on the forehead, but she cleans it up afterwards.
Now wait a minute. Now see that type of talk here. No. I'm gonna have to kick you out.
What Fury's got to do is he's got to feint Wilder, make Wilder react, and then when Wilder does react, sort of like rush him, sort of thing, and before he gets to pull that fucking right hand back and let it go, sort of thing, because Wilder's very jitterish. I mean, when you feint, he's all over the shop. You don't know when to react, and that's when you got to rush him. I don't think you can, like I said, or the double jab, work your way in with that. That's the only way I can think of getting inside this sort of guy. But I don't think you can stroll forward at, a lethargic pace and expect to fucking be awake.
But this is the thing. There's not really going to be an inside fight unless Fury throws an uppercut. He's probably a better fighter on the inside because they're really tall and long and big. I mean, you're not going to walk somebody down inside the distance. You're going to walk somebody down to where you're fighting at the mid-range, because you got to draw them hands back and reset and punch again. You can't just be on the inside fighting like a short fighter. These guys are huge.
All right, now before
I've seen Fury do good enough work in the pocket though to trouble Wilder because Wilder can't fight it. He's got no inside game whatsoever, and that's when he's just based. There's no threat coming back when you're in the pocket with Wilder. He's just holding you the back of the head.
Real quick. We got somebody on the StreamYard coming in. The gate is open. Somebody's on the stream. All right, LDNAK, you're on the line, and I hear some music in the background. Can you put the music down?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, LDN. There's a lot of background noise. There's a lot of. Maybe you want to go in somewhere that's a little quieter, maybe a closet or.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, man. I can't see. Well, it's gonna be 2 outcomes. It's either gonna be Fury's gonna beat him up over 12 rounds, or
man, you're sounding all fucked up, buddy.
Yeah, your sound is a little bit distorted.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah, speak closer to the mic. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, much better, much better. All right, LDN,
Get
go
your
ahead.
hand off your dinghy and hold your phone up to your face, bro.
Come on, I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you talk to our callers that way. That's uncalled for.
I'm just breaking his balls.
I know. I'm sorry about that, LDN. Go ahead, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that Fury, as much as I don't like either fighter, to be honest with you, I reckon that Fury probably gonna win. If you look at like just rematches in general, it's the guy that generally had the upper hand in the first match that generally tends to come out in the second. So I reckon that Fury's gonna win just based on that alone. However, you never know with Wilder, you know, that guy, that right hand can come from anywhere. But saying that, what he's put on all that weight, I reckon that he's gonna basically he's gonna bully Wilder, hopefully, and Wilder's not gonna have anything to come back with, you know, because he seemed to tire out later on in the rounds. That's the thing with Wilder. So you never know. No one's actually put it on Wilder, you know, for him to actually really get tired later on.
Yeah, that's 100% spot on. I mean, who's put it on Wilder? Even Fury's not active enough, is he? Fury was fighting at some slow pace and fighting in burst. I mean, Wilder can fight like that all day long. I mean, that's why I wanted to see like a Dillian White in there. Because say we like about Dillian White, I know technically he's not the best, but he'll come to fight and he'll throw shots and he'll make you work. And that's what I wanted to see Wilder. I want to pick Wilder to win, but I wanted to see Wilder have that sort of adversity sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, you want to see an exciting fight. That's what I want to see.
That's
you know,
right.
I don't want to be seeing two fighters, you know, like just pot shotting from distance. That's going to be long. That's boring. We've seen that all day long. Fury does that like 95% of his fights. With Wilder now, like he's the same kind of thing. He just sits back, and then just like pow comes out of nowhere. And yeah, exciting. It's exciting and kind of thing. But at the end of the day, like we just want to see like a proper, you know, tear up, as we call it in the UK. We want to see a tear up.
Yeah,
We're seeing some boring fight. You know what I mean? Like it's long. So I don't know, man. This is one fight I would never put money on, though. This I 95% of these boxing matches, but this one, I don't know, because I'd be disappointed either way. You know what I mean?
It's a tough one to call, isn't it?
I got money on it.
Exactly. Oh, you got money on it? How much you got?
Just a quick 30 with my buddy. It ain't, you know, just a friendly little. I got Fury though, but I made. But hey, man, No. I bet my 30 on Fury, but I bet my pick was for Wilder. So it's if I lose, I still win.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay.
You're sitting on the fence,
I mean,
man.
Do you caller? Do you see Tyson Fury actually shocking people and getting the stoppage?
You know what? It would be a shock, but the thing is, from what he's been saying, and the fact that he is a good boxer and he's able to change the way he fights, I wouldn't be too surprised if that was to happen. You know, like the second fight with Chisora. Obviously, Chisora is much smaller than Tyson Fury is, but the guy just outboxed him, just made him look silly compared to the first fight, which was very competitive. You know what I mean? So like with Fury putting on that weight and like leading all over a cruiserweight, which is Wilder, who only has one right hand, really and truthfully. Okay, he's got the jab as well, but that's about it. It's possible.
See,
you know what I mean?
This is why I picked the stoppage in the 7th round. Like I've said before, I'm not expecting a big punch and Wilder going to sleep. I expect the referee to jump in because Wilder's going to be all over the shot. That's the way I see it. But I think with Fury, he punches hard enough to take the fight from him. You've seen that with Chisora. He took the fight from Chisora. He just beat him up, and I think he's got enough power in his pop to get the stoppage if he starts planting his feet. And let's be real. You can't be throwing single shots and ones and twos. You do have to throw the combinations and you know get some pop behind these shots to get Wilder out there. You're not gonna get him out there just popping out the jab, are you? Sort of thing. So.
And anyone that wants to see a unification fight is begging Fury to actually beat this guy, you know, because like at the end of the day, like Wilder is a great fighter, yeah, but like his team and the people behind him don't want to see a unification fight. And we've been looking for this unification fight for years now, you know, like, and no one with a brain cell is going to be confused or brainwashed by any of the lies coming out of his camp. So we want to see this unification fight, and the only way we're going to see it is if Fury wins the belt. That's the only way we're gonna see it. Really and
That's
truthfully.
right.
So I'm hoping Fury comes for it.
All right, listen. By the way, Stu, can you tell us which part of Australia that accent is from?
No, that's definitely a British accent. I'd say that's London. I'd
Yeah,
say
London.
definitely London accent.
Is that a London accent there, LDN?
Yeah, South London accent, LDN, London.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. It took me a while there. All right, listen. Thank you, LDN, for calling in. We're gonna move on to another call, but again, thank you for calling. Oh, by the way, did you pick a round for the prediction and specific round?
If I had to put one in it, I'll say 12 rounds. Fury on points.
All right, 12 rounds, Fury on points. All right, LDN, thank you for
That
calling in.
was a good call as well. It was a good call.
All right,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, BDA. I haven't been looking forward this much to a fight since Pacquiao and Thurman fought. So I'm pretty fucking amped up. I have to say.
Yeah, me too, Johnny. Me too, man.
Yeah, even Gonzalo, who said this was going to be a shit show, admitted that as soon as the fight gets Anyway, look, hold on a second. We got another person on the StreamYard. Jimmy Mack. He's got a photo of Cal Sutherland. Jimmy Mack, you're on the line. Jimmy Mack.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, good to have you on board, man.
All right, yeah, I think Wilder's going to get dominated in this fight. I think he's got nothing for Fury. I think Fury, he caught Fury at the right time in the first fight, and that Fury's going to come out. I don't think Fury's really looking for a stoppage. I think that's all promotion. But I think that he's going to dominate him. And like Stu said, I'd like to see Fury work a little more on the inside because his hands are a lot quicker than Wilder's, and Wilder's power comes at the end of his punches. So I'd like to see him try to get inside a little bit more. But yeah, I think he's going to dominate Wilder.
Oh, everybody's saying that he's going to have to turn into a serial killer. Just like a serial killer snuffs a bunch of prostitutes, he's going to have to smother Deontay Wilder.
You have to hunt the hunter. You have to hunt the hunter, mate.
Yeah,
you don't run. You don't run away for him to fucking eat you. You hunt the hunter.
That's a good point. I'm just thinking it's not going to be easy, though. It's people make it out to be as if, he's just got to smother him.
There's no easy way around it. I've said that before. I mean, you could come up with 5 game plans. They're all dangerous. But like I said, you've got to go and try and win the fight. What's the point of just fighting on the back foot, popping out the jab and hope Wilder don't land and hope you can nick it on the cards? I mean, you're not going to get it that way. You've got to go and do something different, like adjustments, and go for the stoppage.
Right.
I think that's what he has to do.
Well, Jimmy Mack, do you think Fury can actually land some clean shots and to wear down Wilder enough on the inside? Or is it just going to be like a bunch of slapping behind the head and shit like that?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I don't think if he does stop Wilder, it's going to be later on when he's going to tire Wilder out and get him later on. But I don't think he's looking to do that. I think he's looking to be on the back foot and box like he did in the first fight. But I think he'll be more aggressive too.
All right. And do you have a specific round in which you think this is going to take place? This prophecy is going to be fulfilled?
I mean, if there is a knockout and Fury knocks him out, I think it's going to be late, 10 or 11 maybe.
Well, there you have it. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think if he does, I think Jimmy's 1,000%. Jimmy's on my shit all the time, by the way. Yeah. But he, dude. If I think if Fury gets him, it's going to be way late. He'll wait till he gasses, like Jimmy just said. I think it'll be real right towards the end if he does stop him.
Yeah.
The only thing I disagree on is that he's going to perform better, but that Fury is way quicker than Wilder. I think punch for punch, Wilder might be quicker. He can get there faster.
I don't know about no. I think with Wilder's shots, have got to come from such a distance. I think they take time to build momentum. Once they fucking do build momentum, then that's where the power comes. I think snappier punches come from Fury. Fury was beating Wilder to the punch quite often in the first fight. And like I said, if it's true that what his dad said about him being he left it in the gym sort of thing. Ben Davison trained him too hard, and he didn't have much left when it comes to fight night. So that's encouraging for me because he's got surely bring a lot more to the table then, if that's the case, in this one. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many factors with this fight. You know, if Tyson Fury took his eye off the ball, we don't know how he's training. He could have took his eye off the ball with this wrestling stuff and, you know, and all these TV shows. I mean, there's a fucking reality show now on, I think, ITV, The Furies. You know,
Wait,
they're everywhere, man.
Are you serious? They get a reality show?
Yeah, called the Furies. I mean, just started. I don't watch it because I don't watch reality shows. But yeah, it's basically the wife and that lot following the Furies around. It's a fly on the wall show sort of thing. So, I mean, these are all factors that could come into play. You know, Wilder means business. You know, let's not fucking beat around the bush here. The guy means business. I can see that look in his eye. He's out for blood. And if Fury don't take this fucking serious, mate, then he's going to be a meal. He's going to be a meal on that night.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, he's going to be a mill. So, you know, but Fury's got the talent to make Wilder look ridiculous. You know, if Fury comes in at his best, he can make Wilder look ridiculous and stop Wilder. So it's just so many factors in this fight. That's what makes it exciting.
Now, in that Tyson Fury reality show, you say you haven't seen it, but do you think they show them eating authentic British cuisine in there, like figs and jellied eels and stuff like that?
Well, as long as they don't show it fucking sniffing the line, I'm all right with it.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. Jimmy Mac, what else? So what's your official prediction, though? Because I asked you about the stoppage, but what do you think is going to happen?
I got Fury on points.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, that seems that's the safe prediction to go with. And have you, like Johnny Boy, have you put a little money on it, or?
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to put money on it. Wilder's got too much of a power in that right hand for me to fucking bank on Fury, but I'm confident that he will win.
As much as look, there's so many fucking Wilder haters that come on this show, but none of them will put the house on him getting beat because you know once that right hand could come from anywhere, and then it changes the fight, doesn't it? Just like that. So yeah, it's one of them fights where he's dangerous till that bell rings or the ref steps in. So that's what makes it exciting. It's going to be edge of the seat stuff, even when nothing's happening.
That's right, man. It's I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat, man, because you just never know what's gonna happen with Deontay Wilder. You don't know if somebody's gonna take him out, if he's gonna take somebody out. I mean, it's just entertainment all the way. The fights might not be exciting all the time, you know, the build up to the knockout, but it's the possibility of a knockout. It's like what those gay guys do, right? When they have orgies and they call it like a roulette, where one of them has eights and they don't know which one it is, and that's what that's the excitement, you know. So that's what we're talking about here. All right, Jimmy Mac, anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, man. I think we've pretty much covered it. Cali Cartel.
Cali Cartel. All right, man. Take it easy, man. Thank you for calling.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Take it easy. All right. All right. So that was Jimmy Mac.
Body shots.
Oh, sorry. Don't forget to check out Johnny Boy's channel, where you can check out Johnny Boy's streams and his videos. Okay. What did you say? You can sell body shots?
Body shots were going to be extremely important here for both guys. Body shots.
Yeah, I agree.
It's rarely where you see a heavyweight get knocked out by a body shot. But if I were Fury, I invest in the body with straight jabs or straight right hands. But then again, he's got to be cognizant that overhand right's going to try to come down his way and get timed. Yeah, but body shots.
That's why, for me, when he gets inside that right hand, he's got to be throwing short uppercuts to the body. I mean, then body shots I've seen body shots fucking cripple a fight and take everything you had out of him. Just one shot, they can do a lot more. Body shots they do more damage than headshots, really. You just got to land them, ain't you? And fighters don't throw enough body shots these days, man. So I'd like to see the body shots being thrown, and I think, you know, it could be the key.
Well, you know what? In one of the videos that we did over at BDA Live, check it out, I talked about the deception that Wilder has to use. In other words, he has to use feints. Because every time it was always the same thing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But when there were two specific instances, which I document in the video, where he actually led with a left hook to the body. And you can tell based on off of Tyson Fury's reaction that he was impressed by that. He was surprised. He was not expecting those shots to the body. And I think that's what Fury has to do, man. Wilder, he needs to lead with left hook or start to the body and then to the head. It's pretty simple, but he never really tried it in the fight consistently. So I do agree, man. Body shots, body shots, body shots. I mean, for both guys, really. Tyson Fury on the inside. Because again, those slaps of his, they might look like they're just slaps, but they're slaps from a 270-pound gypsy. And those add up.
I've seen fighters getting dominated and turn a fight round with one clean body shot. I've seen them turn fights round with a good body shot. It just saps the fucking life out of these guys when you hit them properly. And it can be your way back into a fight. So yeah, it's always a good punch to throw. But like I said, very dangerous if you're throwing it in the wrong positions against Wilder. So Fury's a smart guy, man. He knows a lot more about boxing than any of us do. So I'm sure he knows what to do. It's just pulling it off.
By the way, was it me or did Fury's father in that show that they did with David Haye, did he come across a bit of a know-it-all? Like, maybe they told him to play it up a little bit for the cameras, but he seemed a little bit annoying, man. Like he was going after.
So did David Haye.
Right, yeah, but
everybody had their opinion, and they were kind of defending their opinion. So they all sounded like they knew what was going to happen. So no.
Yeah, see, with David Haye, though, David Haye's going by what he knows in sparring, and I just don't think you can being in sparring and being in a fucking big fight, a world title fight with the cameras on you. It's just a different experience altogether. I mean, I don't know, man. I got a feeling David Haye's still got bee in his bonnet about the Furies. I don't think he likes the Furies, and I think that's what it's more down to. And I think he's good friends with Wilder as well. I mean, he used Wilder quite often when Wilder was coming through. I mean, when he fought Audley Harrison and all them guys, David Haye was using him for camp. So I think he's good friends with Wilder. So I think it could be a bit of that as well.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Because him and John Fury, man, they clashed straight away, didn't they?
Yeah.
yeah, from the get-go. Again, I don't know if it was the producers telling them, hey, listen, play it up. Because, they need, if everybody agrees on the same thing, it's boring. But if people start getting animated and all that's what happens. It makes for good TV. Now, speaking of for good shows, I'm very disappointed, man. We keep putting up the link there for the StreamYard. Anybody can come in. Anybody. But yet, I was expecting Wilder people. I was expecting Fury fans, passionate fans to come in and tell us why we were wrong, why we were right.
This chat's like the fucking 147 division, mate, full of duckers.
Oh,
cherry pickers and duckers. They don't want it. Neither of them.
Oh man, but listen, hey, phone lines are open too. So if you want to call in through that, but I mean, listen, StreamYard, I'm watching it, and so far we only had a handful of people, and I don't understand what's going on, guys. I really don't. Listen, also something I wanted to say, Johnny Boy, did you got a whole? I don't understand. You wished Lomachenko a happy birthday on your channel, and you got about 47 dislikes on that stream. What happened, man? All right, I think Johnny Boy's having a wank, like they say in England. All right, meanwhile, we got Recognized on the line. Recognized, are you there?
We got a phone call.
Oh, we got a phone call too. All right, hold that thought, Recognized.
That's Butcher saying, I don't really care, Recognized.
That's Butcher saying, go fuck yourself, Recognized. All right,
yeah, go fuck yourself.
That was perfect timing, huh?
Yeah. All right, we got
the suspect.
419.
Right,
419, you're on the air. 419.
Hey, what's going on, BDA?
Nothing much, man.
Johnny's friend.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, it's T-Tone.
Yeah, hey, yeah, that's me.
All right, thank you for calling in, man.
Hey, just giving a call. I was going to get my prediction on the fight. I'm going the Fury with the decision, the points.
On the points,
all
right.
I wanted to get Johnny on there.
Hey, Johnny is right here, man. But I mean, I think he's here. We see him on, but I think he went to get a smoke or something. But when he comes back, what is it that you want to tell him? Can you give us a little preview?
No, yeah, hey, it's just boxing talk. I guess Johnny got in an argument with somebody on the Discord thing, and then he come and put a video out of me.
Oh shit! No
and then,
kidding.
And then when I called him, to answer him, he ducked my questions.
Well, that's not
so I
nice.
told him I'm going to get him on the phone and put him straight. So he's somewhere.
Nah, I'm not ducking you. I'm not ducking you.
Oh, we got Johnny's back. Johnny's back.
What I was going to say is, Johnny likes, timing out, when you have an opinion. And I was just going to tell him why that's not right.
Well, hold on. Let me
You
check
know?
if he's back. Let me check. Johnny Boy, you there? Johnny Boy. All right, listen.
Yeah, I'm right here, BDA.
All right, Johnny Boy. What do you want to tell T-Tone?
Hey, heck yeah.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, T-Tone. That's what I think. Go fuck yourself.
Now wait a minute. That's not right.
Yeah, hey, that anyone can junk talk.
I'll meet you in your hometown and I'll smack the shit out of you.
Hey Johnny, how
You sound like Mike
when
Tyson,
somebody
man.
comes in for a pack and they talk about a pack fight and you say, "Oh, my Filipino brother," but when Canelo's talking about who's he gonna fight, and someone says, "Hey," just says Canelo's name, you go, "Oh, you're a fanboy." Man, that shows, man. You know, you gotta let.
And that was a redheaded stepchild. You
Are you
bum.
saying he's not showing enough Mexican love?
What's that?
He's not showing enough love to Mexicans?
No, he don't have to show no love, but he just gotta respect the other side of the talk. You know,
All right, Butcher, you got to stop with the fucking sound effects, man. Because I got to
you know,
put up.
like if you're talking about who Plant's gonna fight, and you say, "Oh, Benavidez will be a good fight," he'll block it.
Yeah, but check it out.
Come on, hey, I can't help the Mexicans are fighting in all the championships every weekend.
Yeah, but that's true. But sabes que Holmes,
Right.
that's his stream, man. That's his stream. I mean, if he wants to run it any way he wants
I
to.
know, hey.
T-Tone, you out of line,
Hey,
okay?
you know what?
You out of line.
Yeah, just a little
Hey,
bit.
you know what? No,
I'm
hey,
tired of your shit.
Johnny never used to act like that before. Johnny never. He just started acting like that now.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if we actually
it's like
got
Dr. Johnny
Johnny.
and Mr. Hyde.
with Dr. Johnny and Mr. Head. Okay, hold on. Let me see if we got Johnny Boy back. Johnny Boy, are you there? Okay,
Yeah.
he's no. Jeez, this would have been perfect time. All right, listen, Tito, stay on the line. Stay on the line because I wanna straighten this out live on the air here on BDA. But
Well, look, you know what? But because we don't know when Johnny's coming back.
Let's go.
I know, but he probably went to take a he probably went to take a smoke or something. All right, so he might be coming back in a couple of minutes. Meanwhile,
All right, listen, Tito, when Johnny comes back, call back. How's that?
All right. Hey, I got to take some stuff, but he ducked me again. Hey, I'll try to call
I'm
back
not
later.
ducking you. I'm not ducking you. I'll smack you before you get
Have
next
a
to
good
me.
show.
all right, Tito, don't forget, man.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
We're also
Yeah,
gonna
right.
put gonna put the link of the
Sounds
StreamYard
Johnny will
there.
recognize. Sounds like fucking recognize.
Yeah, he doesn't.
All right.
All right, Tito, we're gonna put the StreamYard
What are you
link
talking
also
about?
on the
I'm right here.
description, so
I
you
wouldn't
can
talk
call
like
in.
that.
I mean, you can click in there. All right, that was
All
Tito.
right, call back. All right, that's it. Mr. BDA, I'm gonna
Yes.
restart the phone lines. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Johnny's back now that Tito left. Johnny Boy.
No, he's
what's
not.
Yeah, he is. Johnny Boy, what's going
Thank
on,
you
man?
for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Johnny Boy, well, what happened? Once Tito came in and all of a sudden, I mean, once he leaves, you're back. Johnny Boy, what's going on? And when I say Johnny Boy, I'm talking about, there we go.
Yeah, I'm right here. I mean, I don't know what's the problem. I was here the whole time.
Yeah, apparently there
I
was
mean,
some
what
sort
am I? What am I, a mirage?
Yeah.
So Johnny did a Charlo when Jacobs confronted him.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Anyway, listen.
Hey, Mr. BDA, I sent you a link with some funny comments.
Yeah, I
You might
was
wanna
gonna
read
put
them.
that before
Okay.
the
Funny how? Like what? Like how's it funny?
You'll see.
Hold on a second. Hold on. By the way, again, I gotta voice my displeasure here that we got a stream for anybody. There's no restrictions. Anybody can come into the StreamYard, and nobody's biting. Only a few people. Only a few brave souls. All right, Butcher just sent me a video. This is from Boxing Ego, I think. One of the videos he
That's
did
right.
about Wilder versus Fury, and these are some of the predictions or some of the comments. Chizama. Okay, this guy says Saturday night can't come quick enough. Wilder is gonna silence a whole lot of people, big time in heavyweight boxing. Somebody else says I'm betting on Wilder KO. Fury doing too much and seems lost. He's going Betty buys. Then you got this guy here. He had a picture of the pyramids and he says great intro. Another guy says can't believe the stuff he says. That's why it changes so much. But make him quit. I don't think so. I hope Wilder gets on that eye early with the jab and so on and so forth. So you can see that And, by the way, everybody's got pictures in there, and it looks like the audience at night at the Apollo. I don't see a white, Asian, or Mexican face in there. So, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is. Was that?
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I mean, listen, hey, this is the most diverse boxing show on YouTube. I think it's official. So call in, man. Call in. StreamYard's open. I keep putting the link up there. So call in. Let us know.
I mean, all we need now is a fucking tranny, and we've got the full package.
You know, you need transsexuals up there. You guys, they got the full house.
That's right. That's right.
We need to find ourselves a fucking a feminist mutt as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
the wilder feminist transsexual movement. That's what it's called.
Listen, you got to save that type of talk for the second Renaissance, not here.
Oh, yes, we.
Even the second Renaissance, you guys, recognize and Stu, you guys were going a little bit overboard, a little bit.
Maybe I sent you a picture.
Jesus.
No, I would.
Hold on a second.
Did they take that video down?
No, it's still
it's back. It's back.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! How do I put these pictures up, Bucho?
Save it and then drag and drop it.
Okay. Okay, all right, hold on. But you guys, okay. So how are you gonna watch the fight? I'm curious though. I mean, let's start with Stu.
You asking me?
With my eyes.
No, jeez. Oh, we got a funny guy. We got a funny guy.
We got a funny guy over here, yo. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, we get a comedian. He thinks it's
a
joke.
Stu, you really are a funny guy.
All right, hold on a second. All right, this is the comments that Butcher told me to put up here. This guy goes, Anthony Joshua is a fraud. What does it have to do with? What does it have to do with Fury as well?
That's when you know your hate for Joshua is so fucking. It's so real that he has nothing to do with this fight. The first thing is, we all know Anthony Joshua's a fraud.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn is a fraud. Oh, okay, so everybody's a fraud. Anthony Joshua hasn't fought Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury, or Deontay Wilder. AJ has a fabricated career based on smoking mirrors. And then this guy with the name Proud African, and he's got a photograph of what looks like Cyrus from the 300 movies. Ha 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 ha. 32 angry British nationalists hit the thumbs down. LOL. So there you go. That's the quality of comments that we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, the Wilder fanboys.
These black dudes are so upset because their girl will fuck Anthony Joshua. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joshua's got some fucking militant fans himself, though. I've seen him.
Hell yeah.
And by the way, hold on.
They're quite corny. They're quite corny as well.
Before we continue,
like I said, I'm gonna keep it real, mate. But most of these guys are fucking British.
No, I can't stand Wilder fans. Like there's certain people.
Yeah, but they're just retarded. Wilder fans are just
Wilder
retarded.
fans are just
you
retarded.
got used to it now. But
yeah,
Anthony Joshua's just got cornball. Just the cornballs have jumped on board with Joshua.
Stu, I had one come on my shit the other day, on my stream the other day, and he was like, "Fucking He was. I'm like, okay. He's like, will he beat fucking Dillian? I'm like, bro, that was like 6 years ago, dog. Like, it's fine. He's a good fighter. He's got the best resume in the division. But get off his dick, bro.
All right, hold on. Before we continue, we got somebody on the StreamYard. Dave, you're on the lines. Dave,
what's going on, fellas?
Good to have you on board, man. Everything's doing fantastic. What's up,
I'm just hearing you guys saying how no one wants to come on, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just come join the first time.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna have some views you guys don't like. This is about the UK fans of the double standards that I'm talking about, because everyone tries to discredit Luis Ortiz by saying he's old, and meanwhile,
hold on. Let him speak. Hold on. Let him speak. Go ahead, Dave.
Liv is 38 years old, barely even younger, and it's okay for Joshua to fight him. No one calls him old. Let Wilder fight Luis Ortiz. They're trying to say he's old. When he's 40, he's not old like that. People are like, oh, he's 55. He's 40, and Povetkin's the same age, and Kubrat was 38.
Mm-hmm. By the way,
if you really believe Luis Ortiz is 38, then you really need to give your head a
Nah, I
wobble.
say he's.
I mean, let's be
Yeah,
real.
I think you're being
The
naive.
guy's
He's not
walking.
30.
The guy's walking around looking like fucking Morgan Freeman from Shawshank Redemption, man. He's about
So
fucking
why
65.
does no one give Joshua shit for fighting an old opponent? Also, why is it only Wilder getting all the hate?
You're talking about Klitschko?
Look, hey, listen. The
Klitschko
difference
was
between
old as
Povetkin
fuck
and
also.
Ortiz.
Excuse my language. He was
Povetkin has
just he was old also.
got Olympic gold medal in his cabinet, a world title. You know,
And Wilder ducked him
he only
too.
lost to two people, Klitschko and Anthony Joshua. I mean, now compare Ortiz's resume to Povetkin. I mean, just
Okay, well then talk
stratospheres
about his
apart.
resume. Don't be trying to say he's 55 years old. He's old. You know,
I'll try to
that's a
say
whole
whatever I
separate.
want.
Yeah, 55 is about right. Just you've guessed it quite.
Put some
Wilder's
caution in
not
your
allowed.
tone there, wise
Everyone
ass.
else is allowed
First
to
of
do it.
all, and
Hey, by the way,
second of
hold on.
all,
God
Yeah.
down, Johnny.
Hey, by the way, hold on. I gotta ask Dave, which part of Australia are you from?
F that, bro.
No,
Which part of Australia are you from?
People are saying you're from Staten. People are saying you're from Staten Island.
New York. New York. So.
New York. All right. So you got.
Oh, he's from New York. That's my boy.
That's
he's
right.
from New
We
York,
got
like me.
recognize he's from New York as well. Now, listen. In
Yeah.
regards to the Ortiz thing, you're right that there's double standards for both guys. I mean, it is people do get invested in this. I will say, however, that Tyson Fury, at least when he fought Klitschko was on a bit of a tear, if you will, with his title defenses, and he was a gold medalist. And he was. I mean, let's face it. I do think Vladimir Klitschko is a lot better than Luis Ortiz. But I'm more curious on your prediction. How do you see this fight going? And if it ends before 12, do you have a specific run?
Oh, I really don't know. This is why this fight is very exciting because I really don't know what's gonna happen. I genuinely don't know. He could, Wilder could knock him out early, or it could go to decision, by Tyson Fury, unanimous decision. Tyson Fury outboxes him.
Oh, so
I agree with this guy, 100%.
So you're going with Tyson Fury unanimous decision?
No, he said
or
he could go either way.
Or an early stoppage.
Well, you gotta pick one, man. You gotta pick one. I can't let you slide.
If I had to put money on it, I would put money on Wilder.
All right, there you go. And so it's by a knockout then.
Yeah, Wilder by knockout.
Which round?
Round 4.
Round 4. All right. Okay, so he's going early with that. By the way, who's eating on the line? Is anybody?
I thought I was muted. Sorry.
Recognize. I've told you. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Stop eating your fucking chimichangas on while your microphone is on.
Eating them hot Cheetos again, huh?
Yeah, he's eating them hot Cheetos. Oh man.
I'm having plantains. You know the plantains?
Oh yeah, those are delicious, man.
I got some Takis.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Those shits are fire.
I know,
The
bro.
thing
That's
about-
why I said that. Some Takis.
The thing about, even though heavyweights age at an older age, I think with your prime, 2 years from 38 to 40 is a big difference exponentially.
Exponentially.
Sometimes a fighter can only be like one fight removed from his prime. And when he's on the tail end of his career, like, you know, one day he could turn in a good performance, and the next, like, one day he's 40, then the next fight he's 41, he's not that good anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point there. That's a good point, Gonzalo. But I mean, again, I will reiterate. I do think Vladimir Klitschko was a whole lot better than Luis Ortiz ever will be. And I mean, let's face it,
way better. Because look, Luis Ortiz, if you look at his resume, I don't care what age he is, right? He has no type of professional experience compared to Vladimir Klitschko. If you put their professional versus each other, it's not even a matchup. Luis Ortiz stood in the fucking amateur game in terms of age-wise real late. You know, we like to get on Joyce, right? And he did start old. But so did fucking Ortiz. Ortiz started really old because I really believe he's at least 45. At the very least, he's 45. He's not no fucking 40. That's all bullshit. That's an old looking face. If he's let me
There's
tell you,
no way
that guy.
There's no way that guy's younger than me.
He has bad genetics. And
There's no way that guy's younger than me. No way.
Yeah, no way. This dude. I'm 6-7 years older than Luis Ortiz. if you looked at me, and I'm being serious, man. They're trying to tell me These fucking liars are trying to tell me that I'm 6 or 7 years older than him. So when I was like fucking 18, this nigga was fucking 12. Like, get out of here.
Hey, wait a minute. What's with the N word? But yeah, you
I
make a
don't
good
mean it
point.
like that.
No, it's okay.
Like
Listen,
a
you make
macho,
a
the N word. He's like a macho. You know?
yeah, it's a macho. Yeah, oh yeah. We can play
I'm
that clip. By
sorry,
the way.
man. Let me check my Puerto Rican privilege. You know.
Oh. But listen, he makes a good point. And by the way, I just want T-Tone, if you're listening, call in or hit the link there on the StreamYard because we want you.
What do you
And
got to
Johnny.
say to Johnny Boy now, T-Tone,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's what we're trying to get at here because
Hey,
somebody.
Johnny, T-Tone called in when you was on on a break, and he was just talking mess that you ducking him and shit.
Yeah, we told him you were having a wank, like the British say, but you weren't there, man. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Mr. B, can you show everybody that comment that I'm posting?
Yeah, hold on.
Let's see.
Okay, Andre Norris said Wilder
As Wilder
AJ as
said.
Wilder said 1-4. He clearly won rounds 7-9 and 12. He also won. I agree with Evander Holyfield. Wilder was clearly robbed. If you want to use scorecards, and anybody who really knows the sport knows Fury was knocked out. Fury admitted that
Oh God's
himself.
sake! Give me strength.
How come?
That's what Jack Reese.
How come?
Yeah,
Let me
Jack
ask this question. Let me ask this question to the Wilder fans. Why are you the only guys that say he knocked him out anyway? Outside of your fan base, nobody else says that. Nobody, right? Like, surely if it really happened, even like there'll be some outliers. Let's say if they thought that the world is against Deontay Wilder, surely there would be some outliers that would say, "Yeah, man, I don't like that Wilder, but he did knock out Tyson Fury." How come How come you guys are the only stupid motherfuckers that say that?
Oh, well, I mean,
call in and explain why.
That
I got another one, Mr. BDA.
Another quote?
Yep.
All right, hold on a second. This one says, oh, it's a little blurry here. Hold on a second. I'm waiting for it to restructure. Well, I think I can read it. Man, I rewatched Live Fight the first time since the last fight. Jesus, what the fuck? Great fight. And I had Wildest winning 7-5. I could only give Fury 3 rounds clearly and gave him 2 toss-up rounds. I think this guy got his brain tossed a little bit too much because he can't spell for shit. But
I think he's
He
been,
said, he had Wilder 7-5.
Jeez.
God,
you serious? Like 7-5. I got another
yeah,
one.
but you've only got to look at the grammar of that fucking thing to know where we are with it. So look.
No, I believe him. I mean, when you write like that, yeah, I'm sure that he saw it.
Yeah.
I'm sure
like I said, these are the only guys that are saying that. These guys and Evander Holyfield, that's got more shadows on his fucking brain than Amir Khan.
Oh, come on. Now, wait a minute. We're not going to go after Evander.
Read the last one.
Okay. Tyson getting stretched.
I posted an interesting interview on Discord where Jack Reeves gives his take on the fight, and he said that he saw it different. He actually had given the first 4 rounds to Deontay Wilder. I thought that was an interesting interview.
Well, let me introduce BDA Smith. BDA Smith, what do you have to say about this? I think my boy Wilder got robbed. Check the statistics. Brother. This ain't the NBA, BDA Smith. You can't just go after statistics.
You're judging the fight the way you judge a basketball game.
That's right. We got 3 hoops. By the way, I want to bring up something real quick. I know you guys are gonna like this. Changing the subject a little bit. Mayweather came out and said that because the Sports Writers Association of America or somebody, they said that they picked LeBron James as the athlete of the decade. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather had something to say about that, and he said, "Nope, I'm the fighter of the decade because if you check out, I didn't get any money," he says, "from sponsorships. It was all me. It was all boxing. I'm the fighter of the decade." That's what he said.
Athlete of the decade, you mean?
No, he's LeBron James as a 6'8", 260-pound athlete. Little Floyd Mayweather couldn't compare to that. I mean, it's just called genetics. Too bad, Floyd. You're definitely not the athlete of the decade.
But that's the thing, though.
Depends what you mean. Is it the best athlete or the best sportsman?
Athlete. It says that they picked him. Look, Associated Press, they named NBA superstar LeBron James male athlete of the decade. Male athlete of the decade.
Look, if it's between them LeBron, hands down. Of course, right?
I wouldn't even think necessarily of a boxer. They have a lot of soccer players that are really good, like
Yeah, that's what I
Cristiano
said. If it's
Ronaldo, Messi.
that's what I said. If it's
Yeah,
between them
fucking
two.
Ronaldo wins that fucking hands down, man. That
Oh
guy's
yeah,
still he's a
that dude is
fucking machine. Man.
that
He's
dude is
still
fucking
smashing it now.
unbelievable. But LeBron James compared to Floyd, I mean, there's no comparison, bro.
But
And the thing is, Ronaldo's doing it. Ronaldo's doing it on the world stage against the best in the world. How many people play? Let's be real. People play basketball, but nowhere near the level of the Americans play. I mean, it's just they're just levels above. So it's a just different thing, isn't it? I mean, you're only playing the best in America, sort of thing, in the NBA. In Ronaldo's playing against the best players in the world. Full stop.
Butcher, did you see that I told you that I saw the phone call? I don't know. Butcher gets obsessed with the phone calls, man. All right,
No, I don't
929.
see a
You're on
message.
the air. 929. You're on the air.
That was an old message.
929. Are you there? Oh, hold on a second. 929.
Can you
You're
hear
on the
me?
air.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you perfectly fine. So yeah, I just called in, to just I'm trying to get to the bottom of why, this mental rot that these Wilder fans have. Every time, I try to give constructive criticism of, his boxing ability, I get called, or I just post a meme. I get called like, oh, I'm hateful to the person. That's like,
You're
don't
cutting
give
off,
a
man.
fuck.
You're cutting off. We
If you
can't hear
can't,
you.
I can
can you
hear
hear
him
me?
perfectly. I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So I could give a fuck if he cares about me like that's an athlete. Like I'm tired of these people that live vicariously through athletes that they don't know personally. Just because you see them, on the TV, yeah, you may have a sense that you know that person, but like he could be a nice guy, I don't know, or he could be a dick. But don't place so much emphasis, on culture to dictate, your opinions on boxing. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, is this virtuoso or?
I do believe yeah, but by the way, I'm picking Wilder to win.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say that flat out. Yes.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I just get the sense that there's a familiarity with the fighter. Once you knock him out once, it could happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, there could be that or that performance that actually challenges the status quo and believe in that. Just look at Kovalev, when he fought later after for the rematch. What did he change? What did he retold in his game that made him win? It's like you just have to make minor adjustments. You don't have to change your game. But I think what Fury could possibly win that fight too. On the cards.
Right.
I'm agreeing with Johnny. Originally, it's like it could go two ways. But you got to have competent judges. That's why Aram is looking over, to see who they're picking. I actually like the choice of Willis. He's very animated as much as you'll ever see him, and I think he has a value to this fight. Because leading up, I haven't been watching any documentaries, not even the interview. That round table between Fury, Fury's dad. And this guy, and Paulie Malignaggi, and then this guy, David Hay, I really don't care all about that. I just care about the fight. And because the way at the big fights are coming out, it's very slow.
Mm-hmm.
We should have been having, AJ versus Wilder, but the politics, how it is, man. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I'm glad for this fight to finally arrive, but at the same time, it's like we got to speed it up here because these guys are not getting any younger. I mean, do you know that Tyson Fury is the youngest out of all those three, big name heavyweights? He has to be like the oldest looking 32-year-old I've ever seen.
Well, listen, he's led a tough life, long life, fruitful life, some might say. But your point is well taken, man, and especially about these Wilder fans that they if you point out his technical deficiencies, all of a sudden you're a hater. I learned a long time ago not to listen to them. I do my own thing over here. We do our own thing over here at BDA Boxing, and if somebody dislikes it, they can certainly come in and let us know. We got the StreamYard open, we got the phone lines open, and all right. So Virtuoso, you
They
said,
don't want to show up.
well, yeah, they don't want to show up. All right. So just to clarify, you said Wilder by which round? You said
I'm gonna go by the 8th round.
8th round. All right. So we're gonna click that in there, put that in the archives. All right. Listen, we gotta move on, Virtuoso. But thank you for calling in. All right, mate.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely, always. Thank you for calling in. All right. So listen, I think we're gonna wrap it up because I think we've hit about the pipeline here, or the impasse rather, of how much we can talk about. But I think we covered a lot of points. I've tried to get T-Tone back, but then Johnny Boy just left. Somebody's avoiding somebody. That's all I'm going to say about it. Something's fishy here. There's every time somebody jumps on, the other jumps out, and every time the other one jumps in, the other jumps out. So I'm telling you, I'm a little disappointed here. But guys, anything else we missed?
BDA, can I mention one last thing?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
I was just gonna say, when I mentioned body shots was important too, that Fury do as well. He should target the shoulders, throw punches to the shoulders to try to wear down that right hand.
All right. Well, there you have it. There, Gonzalo coming in with the technical analysis. By the way, Virtuoso mentioned that Steve Willis is going to be the referee. Steve Willis is the one who makes all those weird faces, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's him. All right. So yeah, he might. I can't remember him doing anything that was too controversial in the past. So we're gonna have to watch out for that one. Again, guys.
The only controversy I could see if like Wilder drops Fury and the referee waves it off. Let's say instead of giving a count.
That's my concern. That's my concern.
That's the only thing I can see happening. That's maybe Wilder gets away with a couple of shots behind the head. But other than that, the way these guys fight, it's just head on. You know, I mean, there's not going to be. I can't see them doing something that is going to be, you know, like hitting below the belt. The behind the head shots, I could see that from Wilder. But other than that, that's it.
No, you're absolutely.
And if he does go down, maybe the ref stops it a little too soon.
But that's the thing, though. If the fix was in for the first fight, though, I gotta wonder why didn't they stop it? I mean, because if any fight could have been stopped, there was some leeway there for the ref to stop the fight. Why?
He was ready to stop. Remember when he told Fury to walk over there?
Right.
Jack Reese told, go over there. If Wilder would have stumbled just a little bit, he would have stopped the fight.
Yeah, just like it happened this weekend with Diego Ramos.
Exactly.
I don't think the ref was in on it. They had the judges, but not the ref.
Right. You can't. Sometimes, listen, man. Sometimes you can't have everything. Like this. Like I do believe in rigging a fight, but like to say that everybody's in on it, I think that's over exaggeration too. Because Jack Reese, like you said, he could have definitely stopped that fight, and I don't think many people would have argued if he would have. You know, I don't
it's
think
interesting how they criticize Jack Reese for injecting himself into the fights. Well, it's interesting how he's getting these assignments where these fights are playing out, you know, in controversial moments. The same thing with the Abel Ramos fight this weekend, and even the fight with the two YouTubers. Yeah.
Yeah. People hated Jack Reese for that. Remember that guy that called in? He called Jack Reese a Jew. I mean, come on, I thought that was uncalled for. But
who called him a Jew?
Hey, you want to take the call?
Was that? Oh, there's a phone call.
Yeah, one more phone call. Why not? One more.
One more. Okay, let's go to the lines. 585. You're on the air. 585.
Oh, this should be a beauty.
How you doing, guys? This is Vince.
Oh, Vinny, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I gotta go. Bye.
What's up, Vinny?
I'm doing really well. Recognize. We have maybe a couple days until you have to, you know, basically sing my song. Basically, Wilder is looking stronger by the day. Meanwhile, there's rumors going around Tyson Fury has a bruise in his ankle. He's gonna need that ankle because he needs to be dancing all night. If not, then it's gonna be lights out, guys. I'm sorry to say.
You're not sorry. You're not sorry to say that. You're
Yeah,
lying.
you don't have to be condescending and say
Listen,
you're
mate.
sorry.
Look, when fucking Fury comes out there looking like Patrick Swayze out of Dirty Dancing, then you'll know the ankle's all right, mate. You'll know the fucking ankle's all right.
I think he's messing with Wilder and his fans' head. Yeah, I think he's fine.
You think he's playing Gypsy Man games? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's trying to mess with Wilder's head
Well,
and his fans.
yes. I hope he's playing mind games. He's gonna need that ankle. He's gonna need both at 100% to make sure he keeps dodging those right hands and he doesn't get caught by at least one. It's good night. I'm very confident, guys, that Wilder will win this fight. I mean, I've been sleeping very well lately, and I've been thinking about this fight every day, and I can just see Wilder landing that
I
right
believe
hand
that. I believe that.
early and Fury going to sleep.
All right, so
That's
you've been thinking about this fight, you've been dreaming about it, you've been touching yourself at the thought of this fight. But now we
Yeah.
gotta ask you, though for the official prediction.
Yep.
Yes, guys.
Wilder and 3.
My official prediction is Wilder in 7. Since he got rid of Ortiz in 6, I'd figure it probably takes Wilder about 7 rounds. And this
Got
time
rid of
he
him
will
in
hit
7,
him with
but
one shot.
I understand.
And Fury will be sleeping, and Joshua will stay silent as to fighting Mr. Wilder, because he is definitely scared, guys. He is scared. Thank you.
All right, that was Vinnie Mac calling in.
Yeah.
laying down the
And
law.
go fuck yourself, buddy. Talk to you later.
Oh, he's still on the line though, so he can rebuke that.
Mr. BDA.
Yes,
Mr. BDA. One more thing, sir.
please.
Yes. I need a I know you guys are having another show probably before the fight. I'm just gonna need a list of the people that are picking Mr. Fury. So when I call in, each individual are going to have to explain to me in detail every round.
Oh, Vinny, we don't have to explain.
Vinny,
anything.
listen,
If
buddy.
anything, you
Thank
carry
you.
on,
Thank
we'll
you,
fucking
Mr.
block
BDA.
your ass. How about that?
Hey, listen.
Look,
why don't you go?
Know
have a Pepsi?
your fucking place, Vinny.
Yes.
Since you won that award, your narcissism levels are fucking rose to the top.
Your arrogance is really getting on my damn
Mr.
nerves.
Yes, Mr. Stool. Mr. Stool, I'm not asking for much. All I'm asking for from you and the individuals that are picking Mr. Fury is just to explain to me in detail every round and then what happened and what went wrong.
Hey, Vinny,
with Mr.
listen.
Fury. That's
Vinny,
all I'm asking
Vinny,
for. Thank you, Mr.
Vinny,
Stool.
Vinny.
Thanks for being
Do
patient.
you honestly believe? Do you know me, Vinny? You've known me long enough now. Do you honestly believe I'm going to come on air and it's break down a fight round by round to keep you up? Come on, son. You know that's not going to happen. If anything, you won't get any breakdown from me now because you've told me to do it.
Do it for me. Since I get the prediction right, all I ask is for you to do that for me.
Hey, Vinny, I'll
and
give
I'm sure
you
the
one. I'll give you
listeners
one.
will be entertained.
Vinny, I'll give you one. Okay, this is what we'll do. You give me your address. If you win, I'll send an Uber to bring you a 12-pack of Pepsi with some Snicker bars and a picture of Deontay Wilder. How about that? Okay, I'll do that for you.
Mr. Recognized.
I took your breath away
Sure, you can
with that one, didn't I?
I'll definitely accept the Pepsi. But
How about a box
but
of
I'm
chicken?
gonna need
Better
a
recognize. I
definitely
think Deontay Wilder likes
detailed
chicken.
summary on what
You
happened.
should save
with
the
Mr.
Snickers
Fury,
for Andy
especially
Ruiz.
from you, Mr.
Hold
Recognized.
on. I think first of all, make it based on what Vinnie Mac has told us about his weight. You better make it a Diet Pepsi. Second of all, we're gonna have to go here, Vinnie Mac. But thank you for calling in. By the way,
Yeah, Vinny. Yeah, that means go. You know what to do. Go and stick it up to where the sun. Where the sun never shines.
By the way, Vinny.
Bobby.
Vinny, I'll send you that list. I'll fax you
Yes,
the
Mr.
list.
BDA.
I'll fax you the list. All right, the list that you wanted. I'll fax it to you. So get in contact with my secretary and we'll work on it. All right.
Get your Transformer
I'll
wallet
be
ready
listening to
because
the
I
show,
have a
guys,
feeling you're going to be paying.
and I'm sure you guys will have that list in a video, and I will copy everyone's name down. And when I call, I'm gonna go one by one with each person in the panel.
Vinny.
Okay, respectfully. I'll
Vinny.
do it respectfully.
Vinny,
Thank you,
listen.
Mr. BDA.
Vinny, when Wilder gets knocked out, don't you go be fucking doing some private pile stuff on me, blowing your brains out and stuff, because you can't take it anymore. You come on here. You fucking come on here. You show your face, and you'd be a proud man and take it on the chin,
Yes.
because you've got a lot to say.
You gotta call back.
Mr.
Come on.
Stu,
Yeah,
if Wilder
you're gonna get humbled,
loses, the
son.
only thing, Mr. Stu, if Wilder loses, there's several errands I have to run, so I might not be able to make it on the first try, but on the second, post fight, I will be on and I will explain myself.
Well, listen, that's all we ask.
It'll be like fucking James Bulger, isn't it? The fucking guy that went on the fucking run for about 6-7 years. That'll be you, man.
All right, Vinny, thank you for calling in, man. I'm gonna hang up on you.
Whitey Bulger, James Whitey Bulger. That'll be you, man. When Wilder gets knocked out, you'll be
All right.
missing.
I let him go. I let him go because it was just getting too volatile here.
Vinny Bulger.
The temperature was too high here. Every time Vinny calls, he's a very polarizing figure around these parts. But anyway,
He rises my testosterone levels when he calls. I get upset.
Well, listen, he's got his opinion.
Nah, I like Vinny. I like Vinny.
Yeah, listen, everybody's got their opinion. We certainly don't besmirch anybody for having their own opinion. And
he's just a prick. That's all.
Oh, now wait a minute. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna talk about with that type of language. Listen, guys, I think we covered most of the bases here for one episode. We will continue this week later on with the whole Fury Wilder mania. First big fight of the year. It's gonna be fantastic. We're all getting hyped. Even Gonzalo, who said he wasn't ready for the fight, now he's saying that he's starting to feel a little bit. Right, Gonzalo? Starting to feel a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you guys think one of these guys has got a claim to becoming like the A side against what's his name, Anthony Joshua?
I don't think so because
The
Joshua and his team, they also have their own views of what they expect from this fight if it was to ever happen. You know, they're
Winner
expecting
comes
a
out
certain
undefeated with the lineal and the WBC belt.
Yeah, but he has 3.
So they can make a claim to, and Joshua's last performance.
No, I think it will help their case.
A virtuoso performance.
I think deep down, I think Joshua will be cheering on Tyson through the whole camp. I think when you look at it, when you break down styles, make fights, I think he probably sees Wilder as a more dangerous fight than Fury. But I believe Fury will be probably the harder fight for him to win because he's just very tricky, Fury, and I think he could knock Wilder out, Joshua, quite early. But he could also get knocked out himself. But I think if Joshua had to choose between Fury and Wilder winning, I think he'd want Fury to win and take that fight next. I'm not sure if he really thinks Wilder's a good idea. I mean, you've seen what happened to Joshua when he gets caught on a button, so...
Yeah, Fury. I mean, Joshua in his head might be saying, between the two, I think Fury's the safer fight. I could get outboxed clearly, but
exactly.
I'm not going to get knocked
Joshua
out.
could get. That's right. Recognise. That's the way I was trying to put it.
Although
I mean, he could get outboxed, but he's not going to get hurt, is he?
Although I gotta be honest with you, Stu. I could see Fury knocking out Joshua.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me though. Do you see that though? Do you see that happening?
I can see that, man.
Especially if it sells over 1 million pay-per-view buys. Yeah,
I mean, I don't care about the 1 million pay-per-view buys and all that shit. That's like for, let's just talk for like A side, B side. You know what I mean? I don't care about A side, B side. What I'm saying is the fight itself. I agree with Stu that if I was in Anthony Joshua's head, I'm thinking he sees Fury as the least of the threat. He might be the better boxer, but he sees him as the least of the threat because Wilder could end it with one punch.
Well, there you have it. I'm shocked that you would say that you think Tyson Fury can stop Joshua.
I mean, he could stop Wilder. I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big motherfucker.
So wait a minute. So just to recapitulate here, what's your prediction then for the Fury?
I got 50-50 fight. It goes either two ways. I'm gonna tell you what I'm leaning towards, right? What I think is gonna happen more likely. There's two ways this fight ends for me. Wilder either knocks him out or loses on points. Wilder is not a boxer. We already know that. Okay, you make it to the finish line, you kind of automatically beat Wilder. He doesn't do anything. He has very limited output. He can't outbox you. So that's the way this fight. For the key to victory, Wilder needs to win by knockout. Tyson Fury just needs to survive, and he beats him just because
Yeah,
he's
but
a boxer.
don't you think Heyman's got the fucking judges covered again?
Oh yeah,
but
look.
that's an interesting thing. Since it's a cross promotion, you can't guarantee that the judges are all stacked on one side.
Yeah, but I agree with Stu. That's true. I agree with Stu. If anybody does have an advantage, it would be Deontay Wilder. He is the political A side. The political A side, meaning that they both have great promoters, but the politics side of boxing, they want Joshua and Wilder. That's what they want.
He's also the home fighter. He's
also the home fighter, of course. So you got to take all that into, and it already manifests itself in the first fight. So
yeah, but the Bob Father got some pull too. The Bob Father got some pull too with ESPN.
I agree.
This ain't like a golden boy card that you got Eddie Gomez peering over the judges and pacing back and forth, reading the scorecards.
Gonzalo, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think we got to wait to see what happens. First of all, we got to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like a golden boy card. You got Eddie Gomez like fucking Howie Monaghan.
Tyson Fury
over the judges. Here you got the Godfather on one side, and then you got Al Heyman like the devil on one shoulder, and the devil and the
right.
Yeah, that WBC are on Wilder's side. And that's
hold on a second. Gonzalo, I don't appreciate you calling Bob Arum a Jewish guy and Al Heyman a black guy the devils. All right, I mean, I see where you stand on this whole race thing, and I got to tell you, we got no place for that type of thing here at BDA Boxing, right?
Yeah, we got no place for that. Even though I agree with you, Gonzalo. But anyway, so this is what I was going to say. Look,
yeah, I agree as well. But you're a bit out of order. You was a bit out of order.
I'm going to lean towards Fury. I say Fury survives. He goes the distance. I don't think he should get knocked down. I think this time, if he does get knocked down, he might not beat the count. So I'm going to say he doesn't get knocked down. He goes 12 and he wins the fight. He'll win what looks like a unanimous decision, but they'll be nice and call it a majority decision win, or maybe even a split.
But what you got to take into account as well, Wilder's going to come in heavier. And I think that'll slow him down a little bit. And Tyson Fury, Wilder telegraphs his shots at the best of time. I think if Wilder slows down just that little fraction, that could be a key for Tyson getting out of the way of the fucking things for a start. And that could help him, do you know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously he's going to bring a bit more pop when he's landing the shots. But when you put on weight, in any fight puts on weight, he will lose certain attributes.
You see him gaining weight, Stu? I see this fight playing out exactly the two ways that I think this fight's going to play out. Exactly, because that means he's going to be going for the knockout, which he almost got. So why would he stop doing that? And
it can help him and it can injure him as well.
Tyson Fury's going to be aware of this, and I think he's going to be very aware. And there's two sides of that coin when it comes to adjustments, and I think that Fury's adjustment, because he's the better boxer, is going to allow him to survive and more likely not get knocked down. Wins the fight on points. Now, whether the judges give it to him or not, I'm not in their head. I have no idea what's going to happen with that.
Recognize you're starting to convince me, man. You're starting to convince me here. Because I was going to say, again, I'm like everybody else. Fury by decision or Wilder by knockout. But oh, by the way, we got another phone call. Okay, last phone call before we go. Last phone call, all right? Because I'm getting tired here. 470, you're on the air. 470.
What's up, guys? Good convo here.
Thank you.
You know, I just wanted to bring a perspective on. You guys are talking about predictions. The first fight, I actually put money on Fury, and I thought I was going to get a big payout. Until the last round, we got knocked out. But when he got up, I got happy again. And then, once if it's a draw, everybody gets their money back. If you bet on a winner. For this fight. The politics here and the fact that they already have a third fight lined up, and I think they want to block. I think they want to continue their block of AJ out of the American market. I think Bob Arum and Al Heyman have got a little gentleman's agreement going on. If the fight is remotely close, I think it's going to be another draw. So unless either guy does
I like
something
this guy's way of
really,
thinking.
to
You know,
really,
that's a
really, really
possibility.
set themselves apart from the other. Yeah, unless they really do something to set themselves apart from the other guy, I think it's going to be another draw, and then they're going to hype it up, do the third fight in September. Because the other issue is if one of these guys, let's say Wilder KOs Fury, they're not going to want to see a third fight, and then Wilder's going to be under pressure to fight AJ next, and then if Fury
Or it's
dominates
mandatory next,
Wilder,
right? Like Dillian White. One of the
exactly,
two. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Good point. And then if Fury dominates him, it's the same thing with AJ, and that side is going to offer Fury a lot more money than he would get in a return with Wilder. So that's why I think they both kind of anticipate the fight will be close. And if it's close, like I said, I think they're going to do another draw. I mean, the momentum for this fight. I mean, I'm seeing places that didn't show this fight the first time. I haven't shown boxing in a while. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And they're advertising this fight. I mean, certain bars, clubs, they're advertising it.
They are advertising this fight over here.
I think this fight's going to do well. They advertised it during the Super Bowl, so I think, like I said, if it's close, it's going to be a draw. They're going to do it again in September. So that's why Fury's talking about. He knows he can't really get a decision. He's got to go for the KO. That's
it's interesting what this call is saying, because I've been paying attention to the odds, and if you look at the odds, it's basically a draw. I mean, I think the last time I checked, Fury's like the slightest of favorites. Like, it's basically a draw.
Right.
And
those guys
it makes
are
you wonder, right? Because
rarely wrong.
I don't, this fight could look good in the. Okay, let's say Wilder knocks out Fury. He brought up that scenario. Yeah, again, the interest for the third fight might be lower. Let's say Fury outboxes him in a good fight, where he does, like, he just you could see that one guy's outpointing the other. Wilder loses. Are you going to be really interested in the third fight? Maybe, because Wilder didn't get knocked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's a maybe. But what would really get the third fight going? A draw. I'll give you this. I'll give you a scenario. What if Wilder knocks down Fury? He gets up and Fury knocks down Wilder. It goes 12 rounds. They're swinging at each other, and the announcers are like, "Oh my God, this is one of the greatest heavyweight fights of all time." You might want to see that fight again.
You're saying, okay, so both of you guys are saying that the fix is in so that they can keep Joshua out of the loop, make another fight, stall it for at least another year. That's what you guys are saying, right?
It would make sense. I'm agreeing with this caller's scenario. That it makes sense.
I would call it a soft fix, meaning that these guys are for real going to fight. But like I said, if it's reasonably close, like a round or two, if there's any way you could see there's a close fight, it's going to be a draw. And I think that helps both. I mean, I just see this from the perspective of, look, that helps Top Rank. It helps PBC. Why? Because it keeps the attention and focus away from Anthony Joshua here in the United States and blocks him out of the market for at least another year. And then everybody in the United States is going to be, oh my God, Fury and Wilder, and that shit's going to go on all the way until September. AJ,
I don't think.
I mean, I'm an AJ.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that they're necessarily trying to block him out of the market because he's with the zone. And any fighter, if Canelo fights, that benefits Joshua because if you're signed, you're signed
Gonzalo,
with the zone.
He said the American market, Gonzalo. He's saying the American market.
What's the worldwide market, right? If you're watching
the zone, the worldwide. But he's trying to say that, in other words, that Joshua is limited, not totally made disappear by a draw. He's saying limited, in other words.
The only thing I find hard is like, okay, they might do a cross promotion between ESPN and the PBC where they're paying pay-per-view. But if you do a cross promotion between the zone and whoever wins, I thought that would happen because that would mean that the zone would have to like charge pay-per-view as well in order to make that happen. Because the zone, the ESPN got an app, but they're not using the app. They're making it a pay-per-view.
There'll never be a there'll never be a cross pay-per-view with DAZN. Eddie Hearn is in the game to take those guys out. He's trying to take out PBC and Top Rank. If Josh, that's why the Wilder fight can't happen. If Joshua gets all 4 belts, I mean, all these people you see who work for Showtime, who work for PBC, who work for Top Rank, they're going to be out of work. So they gotta pump Fury and Wilder up and make them sound like they're the best, heavyweights of all time. That's why they're doing this. Why do you think they're doing this joint promotion? They're doing it to keep Eddie Hearn and AJ out of the American market.
To be fair to them, though, for me, it's the best fight out there. I still think Joshua's still got work to do. I've got him at number 3 at the moment. I have. We can't forget that performance that Anthony Joshua did against Ruiz in the first fight. It was a dreadful performance. I mean, really amateurish on the night. And we can't forget that.
I agree with you.
You can't just because he,
right,
because he made a few adjustments and managed to get the belts back. Don't mean he goes ahead of these guys. So for me, this is the best fight in the heavyweight division. Definitely.
Yeah, but the thing I was trying to say is, like, if you're signed for the zone, you're watching Anthony Joshua. If you're signed to the zone because you're watching Canelo, you're also watching Anthony Joshua. So you're watching Anthony Joshua if you're signed to the zone. That's the advantage of this application. You pay $20 a month and you're watching all the fights.
They can't freeze Joshua. They can't freeze Joshua out of the American market.
No, because if you're paying to watch Canelo and Canelo's a big in the American market, you're also going to see Joshua and vice versa.
All they can do is refuse to fight him, so it stops him being the big star. Because I think if Joshua can make a half decent name of himself over there, if he can beat the winner of this fight, that's for sure. But he's got to do that first. If they don't fight him, he's not going to be able to do it, is he?
And the American market, they demand Wilder to fight Fury right now. Okay, so they're getting what they want. But after this fight, after Wilder and Fury, the American market will demand the winner to fight AJ. So AJ will make his way into the market because there's a demand for AJ. There is a demand for AJ. They can't stop that. PBC cannot stop that shit.
So Butcher, you don't buy this theory about the Fury Wilder and
No. Okay, let's say they keep them out of the use. What are they going to do with the winner, with Wilder or Fury? Who are they going to fight?
Well, like the rubber match.
They want AJ. People know about AJ in the United States. All right.
Yeah, but AJ's turning around saying that Wilder don't deserve 50-50 again. I don't want to get down that road again. Just give him what he wants and fucking get the fight.
It's all talk. It's all talk at this point.
Yeah, I hope so.
From a business sense, between Heyman and the Bobfather, it might give a good turnout to where they might want to freeze the zone out and say we want to make this fight again because it's going to give us big money. But I don't think they could freeze out, the zone out entirely.
Exactly.
Right.
I agree with Gonzalo.
All right. Well, listen, caller, thank you for calling in, man. A very good, interesting point. We certainly got the discussion going. What do we call you? Because if you don't tell us what to call you, then we're going to have to come up with a nickname.
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
No, I heard crisp, so it's going to be crisp from now on. All right, listen, Chris.
You're thinking about chicken. That's why.
No, that's not. I'm thinking. Anyway, Chris, thank you for calling. Chris, thank you for calling in. All right, man. Catch you next time.
Good call.
All right, Chris.
All right. Yeah, it's interesting theory, man. I'm in the middle. All right, we got last phone call because I gotta go. I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich waiting for me. All right.
Delicious.
786. You're on the line. 786.
786.
Yeah, what's
Miami.
good, guys?
What's up, man? What do you want to talk about? Yeah, you're on the air. You're on the air.
No,
You're on the air, Miami.
I just wanted. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I really feel Joshua actually froze himself out of the U.S. market because he never won a fight here, and also he took a big loss here, an embarrassing loss to Andy Ruiz, and instead of coming back to the U.S. to defeat Andy Ruiz, he chose to tuck his tail and go fight in Saudi Arabia, which those people over there usually going to support him based on his religious belief. And the outside of the U.S., he's more popular than Andy Ruiz. So he basically freezing himself out. It's not going to be Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's going to be on him basically.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to fight here in the U.S.
Well, first of all, I gotta say something. Like Anonymous in the chat room says, "How the fuck does Recognize know every fucking area code in the United States?" Second of all, I don't know. That's creepy, man. But
Well,
also,
no, the reason why I know it is because
It's
I
a
grew up in
it's a
Florida.
big pond over here. It's a big pond. It's not a small pond like the UK.
Oh,
it's not that. It's because Recognise knows the codes when he's getting his DVDs delivered from his
Yeah, that's
place.
right. That's
all right. But what do you guys got to say about what the caller said that AJ essentially tucked his junk and
look, I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, I have my own. Like, look, this is about money. This is about business. Okay. Yes, there would be reasons to limit his market or try to, as a promotion, as a promoter, right? If I'm a promoter and he's my competition, I would try to limit him in certain ways because that's part of the business. Is to boost up my guy. Now, why did he
So
fight in
that, but
Saudi Arabia?
that's
Why did
your
he fight in
opinion,
Saudi
though.
Arabia? Because he got paid 85 million.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
You
where he
understand what I'm
fights. If
saying?
he
So,
fights in England, if he fights in Saudi
wait, let me
Arabia,
finish
all
this
you gotta
point,
do is
Gonzalo.
watch it on your TV in
Let me finish
America.
this point, Gonzalo. I just want to finish this point. Okay. So Eddie Hearn, as a promoter, his job is for himself too. It's not just for Joshua. For himself is to maximize the biggest money. Now, Saudi Arabia must have knocked on his door and said, "Hey, we're willing to build a stadium, and you name your price, but just be reasonable, right?" And maybe he threw that number out there, and holy shit, the Saudi Arabian, the people of Saudi Arabia, the people that invested their money said, "Yeah, that's not a problem." And it's like throwing out a bait and you catch the biggest fish. You're like, "Oh shit, I
Well, I
caught
think
the
he got.
biggest
I
fish."
think he got. I think he got 36 million to fight Ruiz in the first fight, and I think 85 million in the second. So I
Yeah.
think that sort of
Yeah, but
answers your
yeah,
question.
this goes back way before Saudi
I,
Arabia.
I,
Anthony Joshua has been a big name for a long time. Maybe the biggest between him and Canelo. Maybe Anthony Joshua is the bigger name worldwide. I mean,
Right.
he's been a big name.
Right. So he's got a worldwide market. So Saudi Arabia is aware of him, maybe culturally, because I don't know if his family's Muslim or not, but it seems that way. Like they have some Muslim
fuck.
upbringing or whatever, right? So he so yeah, they were interested in this famous Anthony. They're looking at this famous guy.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's to do with that. I think the Saudis have got so much fucking money to burn some of these Arabs.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, these
They're
guys
just
have
willing.
money.
They're
But
willing to
also the
just
fight took
bring
there. But
events.
we watch it in our home in America, in the Philippines, in the United in Canada. We can watch it anywhere around the world just because it took place. That's the host country, just the host nation. But you watch
So
it
listen, my
anywhere
point
around
is,
the world.
if America would have offered 85 million for a Joshua rematch against Ruiz, he would have fought in America. He would have.
all right. Let's let the caller. Let's let the caller respond. Let's let the caller. You want to say something about that?
I mean, I'm not like into like talking about the money. I'm just saying it wasn't a good look for him as far as like losing here and then deciding to go fight somewhere else.
No, I understand what
Outside
you're
of
saying.
the money.
Caller, I understand
And
what you're saying. It's not, but his bank account he
you
made
guys
50 million. He made $50 million more to fight there from his last fight. So $36 million he got for the first fight, like Stu said, right? Now I don't know if that's the exact number, but I know the exact number.
How do we know how
85
much he
million.
would have made here if he would have fought here? I mean, how do we know these things? I mean, you guys are just coming up with numbers. How do we know how much money he would make? Or like
Well, no. I'm not just coming up with numbers. I'm coming up with the numbers that they reported. I'm not just coming
Yeah,
up with numbers.
the zone pay set fees. Canelo was getting set fees for his fights. They pay set fees.
Caller, I'm not coming up with numbers. I'm coming up with the numbers that were reported. If the numbers are wrong, that's on them. They're lying to us, right? But I'm telling you that it's true.
But we never got the numbers for the rematch here. I mean, it was like we don't know.
Look, I don't care what the numbers are.
Here.
I don't really care. I give two fucks about the numbers. I'm telling you that one of the reasons, if the number is true, that he got 85 million, well, that's the reason why he fought in Saudi Arabia. Come on, man, you would do it too. Don't lie.
But hold on, I got a question. I got a
He can fight in Saudi Arabia and people can subscribe in the United States.
Hold on.
doesn't
Okay, yeah,
matter
but
where he fought.
I got a
Just because
question
he
for
fought
the.
okay, yes.
So yeah, sorry, Gonzalo, but we got your point, Gonzalo, about that it's not really about the location, but it's about the zone you can watch anywhere. But caller, I get your point. I understand what you're saying. You're saying is you would have rather seen Anthony Joshua fight in the United States. But my question is, what difference does it make really at the end of the day if he fights in the United States, in Saudi Arabia, in Pakistan? I mean, at the end of the day, he would have still had to have fought Ander Luis, and Ander Luis would have still come in fatter than he did in the first fight.
That's true, but at the end of the day, I mean, he lost. I'm just saying it's not technically a good look for him to like not beat him the same place that he lost. You know.
Well, you worry
to,
too
like,
much
prove
about
a point, kind of.
you're worrying too much about the looks. The Bible says don't worry too much about what people think of you. You do your own thing, and you go on to become the best Christian that you can be. Even though Joshua is not Christian, I think he's a Muslim, right? Which is a big no-no in my book. But you get my point, right, caller?
I guess. But,
You guess? You're not very convinced.
You guys was pretty much saying that like Wilder and Fury might be freezing out Joshua, and that's not true. I mean, they're not writing down the scorecards. I mean, if it's a draw, it's a draw. They got a rematch. I mean,
but we didn't say that. That was sorry,
out.
caller. We didn't say that. That was the other caller previous to you.
Yeah, he's saying that
Oh,
he could see a draw in this fight too, which technically it could happen, bro. It could. They're pretty even. In a lot
Wilder's never been a big superstar in the realms of what Joshua is to freeze him out.
That's true.
He's barely becoming a name. He's not even
another
compared.
draw. Another draw will kill this fight off for a third. No one will call for that third if there's another draw. Man. People will smell a rat. I mean, we're not. I know boxing fans are fucking stupid, but we ain't that stupid.
But they're not that fucking stupid.
Yeah, caller. Go ahead.
I mean, I just can't wait till the fight to see Deontay beat up Fury again.
Again? Yeah, right.
Again,
yeah.
Again,
That's what he's
than
dreaming of. When he was watching the first fight, he dreamed that Wilder beat up Fury.
Caller, I gotta tell you, for a guy that worries a lot about how people look and how things look, you don't seem to be looking too good yourself, man.
Yeah, you're not paying attention, bro.
Yeah,
you're not seeing the fight. You're just seeing what you want to see.
Did you guys rewatch the fight though? Did you guys rewatch the fight or just watch it live with the broadcasters and everything?
I watched it without the broadcasters. I watched it with the volume down.
You're just mad because Showtime betrayed you.
And you scored the fight.
Hold on.
Hey, you must have not listened to fucking Malinagi's commentary then, because he had Fury winning that by a mile.
Of course, he did win by a while. He did win that.
Actually, I had Wilder winning by a mile, but
yeah, we don't care what you actually had. We're telling you, Wilder clearly lost. We don't care. You're a Wilder fan. You see things that nobody else sees.
What you guys think.
Nobody
It's all opinion. It's all perspective. You know.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah,
I got a question.
I saw what I saw.
Hold on. I got a question for you, caller. Did you call in a couple of caller? Listen to me. Hold on. Did you call in a couple of months ago to the show? Did you call in a couple of months ago to the show right before the Joshua Ruiz rematch, and you were saying that Ruiz had won the fight?
I never called. YouTube actually. I was just trying to look up some videos, and I noticed you guys had a podcast or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And I never called. That wasn't me.
Okay, because it sounded familiar. But anyway, listen. I get the feeling that you don't really like Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, but that's okay. Listen, you got your own opinion.
Nah. It's not that. No, maybe Anthony Joshua, but I got nothing against Tyson Fury though. I mean, I just believe he didn't win that first fight though.
Do you think Anthony Joshua? Real talk.
It was a draw, but on my eyes, I saw a dominating Deontay Wilder.
Okay, real talk. Do you think? I got a question. I got a question.
This guy's blind, man. Get out of here.
Right, well,
Is this fucking Vinnie Mac's alter ego or something?
Come on. Listen, real talk, caller. Do you think Anthony Joshua wears men underwear, or do you think he wears G-strings?
G-strings.
I don't care what you wear, bro. I'm not. I don't think about these things. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah, you're just a tunnel vision Wilder fan. I get what you're saying. Anyway, You're a good caller. Bye.
Well, it was a trick question, Anthony Joshua. It was a trick. It was a trick question, Anthony
You gotta
Joshua.
be funny. Look.
What?
Wait, time out. I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
He's the kind of Wilder fan that doesn't care about humor, right? You could even be dissing AJ a little bit. No. He wants you to tell him Wilder's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He doesn't see the humor. Until you say that, I'm not gonna laugh with you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm gonna try to convince you that Wilder really won that fight, and it was domination. Okay, what you guys saw, what the world saw, was a lie. It was a manipulation by Paulie Malignaggi. Works for Showtime. Basically works for Wilder. That's what he wants you to say that first.
If you
Then
guys,
you'll laugh.
if you, it was
That's a
also
good point.
Tyson Fury. Like if you watch the whole fight, Tyson Fury, even the first round, I think it was what was the first knockdown? The ninth round.
9th round. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, even
He lost.
Even
He
after that
arguably
first
lost the first
knockdown,
8 rounds. But go ahead.
This guy is going back to the corner, raising his hand as if he won the round. Like and the crowd is playing
Because he
to
beat
it.
him
It's
up.
just-
Because he beat him up when he got back up. That's why.
He's a good salesman. He's a good salesman, basically. After every round, all he did was lift his hand, stick out his tongue, pretending he won every round. But he did.
You know, for a guy,
Are you
for a
saying
guy
people
who's
gave Fury?
criticizing Fury for being a salesman, so are you, bro. You're trying to convince us that that was a dominant performance by Wilder. I mean, what's the difference between you and your criticism of Fury?
Oh.
I mean, he missed a lot of shots, but a lot of shots landed. And I
Yeah, but you're
scored
still trying to
every
convince
round.
people that Wilder dominated Fury. I mean, nobody saw that, bro. Nobody.
No.
Except you.
Nah, one of the judges saw it.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
judges that was like
Didn't
paid
wanna-
off, bro.
One judge gave
come
it
on.
114 in Canelo against Mayweather. One judge gave it
Yeah,
114.
when Mayweather clearly won like 9 rounds at the very least.
I don't care about the judges.
I don't
and
care
you know
about
this.
the judges, bro.
You know
Like,
this.
I don't know.
All right, listen. Every time we come up with a good point, the caller just says, "I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know." So,
no, he's not. He doesn't find nothing funny. Nothing in the world is funny to him. It's tunnel vision. Wilder's the
There's
greatest. Tell me this.
Bringing up the judges, that's about argument. I mean, judges, they're untrustworthy. You know this. You're a boxing fan.
all right, listen. Before we go, caller, which part of Australia are you from? What accent is that? Which part of Australia is that accent? Which part of Australia is that accent from? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
All
know,
right, listen.
man. I don't get what you're
It's a
saying.
joke. It's a joke.
Wilder's the greatest.
All right,
That's
listen,
it.
caller, call back during the week or after the fight. All right, we'll catch your call again next
I
time. All right,
got
man.
you.
All right, we gotta go. Thanks
All
a
right,
lot,
cool.
man. Take it easy.
What? Yeah, BD. What I find interesting is that. Hey, what I find interesting is that people pretend like they don't know who Anthony Joshua is all of a sudden,
Yes.
and Wilder's supposed to be. It's crazy. When you reach a threshold, a certain point where I don't know, maybe you've made $200 million throughout your career, and you're Anthony Joshua.
Mhm.
You can't just throw this guy under the rug and
No.
pretend, oh, we're just gonna freeze him out. Fuck no. He's already been many places and around the world as far as like his name.
No, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. But again, Gonzalo, this is the way these people and some people are reacting. It's they take it personal. They root for one guy, and everybody else can go fuck themselves. And Recognize made a very astute point about how that was a very astute observation. How I came up with a joke, and granted, it wasn't the best joke, but it was a pretty good enough joke to
Well,
at
by
least
the
get
way-
a chuckle. What?
I did see people give Wilder the fight because he said no, we were saying that nobody gave the fight to Wilder. That those people in Boxing Eagles fucking comment section, and we just showed
Yeah.
you some of the comments. And we just showed you some of the comments how ridiculous they were. So like, come on, you're on the wrong side, man.
Yeah, I mean, I said I was very specific. I said outside of Wilder's fans, his crazy fans on
Exactly.
YouTube, who else gave him the fight? I mean, look, I'm not a Fury fan. I'm not a Fury fan. Like, I'm not a fanboy of his.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if he loses, he loses. It has no effect on me. So I'm watching the fight. My opinion is just as good as any one of those LDBC. You know, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say any of these,
Were you
any of
gonna
these
say the
Wilder,
N-word?
any of these Wilder fanboys, right? I'm just as good as at scoring the fight. So I think he clearly lost. I don't even think it was close. I don't think it was close. It was a clear. I gave him 2 rounds. Okay, that's it. 2 rounds. He lost that fight. Now, a lot of other people happen to agree with me. Some of them have a little closer. Okay, like the furthest I've ever heard somebody say is 4 rounds. No way this man won 7 or 6 rounds or 5 rounds to make it a draw because you take the 2 knockdowns. These guys are liars. And you trying to be funny with him, and I've been noticing this about Wild. It's like, yo, get the fuck out, yo, fuck off, don't call. You know why? Because we don't find him. He's not the most important person in the world to us when it comes to boxing.
Well,
Okay.
speak for yourself.
Well, listen, he might be. I mean, I don't. Okay, listen. He's a big figure in the boxing world. We like talking about him.
Right.
But if Wilder gets his ass knocked out, I don't care. I'm still watching boxing.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna still watch it. You know, I'm still watching boxing. Wilder means nothing to me in the grand scheme of life. He's just a boxer. That's it.
Right, but you get how that you made a very astute observation about how he wasn't even laughing at the joke. I mean, it's like he was just barging through everything we said. No, he wasn't even thinking about it. It was just, okay, this guy said something. Let me get to my next point. Let me get to my next point. Let me get. You know, it's like you notice that right away. That and also he every time we said something, it seems like he thought we were the enemy. You know, like we're rooting for AJ. We're
Right.
rooting
He
for
called in with
Fury.
that perception of BDA.
Exactly.
That's why he didn't laugh at none of your jokes. And, you know, they were pretty funny. I mean, at least it deserves this. Oh, okay. You know, like, even if you're not going to laugh.
Just a little chuckle,
this motherfucker wouldn't.
A chuckle.
A chuckle. That's all I ask.
He didn't even do that. Because he was determined, like, to tell you Wilder dominated. Not only won that fight, he dominated that fight.
Well, and then that's when you called him out. You said, "Well, listen," because he said you guys are selling it as if Fury won, and you're like, "Well, you're doing the same thing with Wilder. You're selling it, and which is even the more even more ridiculous premise that he won by 7-8 rounds. I mean, man, listen, this fight is bringing out the worst out of some people, man. I gotta tell you, it's pretty sad in a way.
They love to call out Canelo. They love to call out Canelo. Oh, that fight with Kovalev was fixed. Oh, you know, Canelo gets the favorite on the scorecards. They had a 10-2 for him against GGG. But Wilder won 8 rounds and basically dominated the fight because you take the 8 rounds and the 2 knockdowns. That's a domination, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? A guy gets dropped twice. It goes 12 rounds. And the guy who dropped him twice won 8 rounds. That's a domination. That's a 6-point victory.
That's right.
Okay. Who the fuck saw that? What?
It's easy. It's easy for casuals and for a lot of people to like believe in a guy that mostly knocks everybody out. So you don't have to know too much about him. If word comes around, oh, this guy drops everybody. It's hard for people. It's easy for people to, oh yeah, I'm rooting for that guy. That's the thing.
Well, listen, I mean, all you guys made very good points. I think we're trying to make an educated guess here about who's going to win. We're not necessarily picking just based on who we like more outside of the ring, and we could get it wrong. That's the beauty of boxing. That's why we watch it, because if we already know who's going to win, then we wouldn't be watching this shit. We'd be watching cricket or something else, and then sounded like we're Australians.
Look, we come out here. We come on this. We come on the broadcast, right? On the podcast, and broadcast.
Yes,
we come
you
on
make
the
it sound so
podcast.
professional, man. Yeah,
We're professionals over there, but we give our opinions. Stu, Bucho, beat you, Mr. BDA, Gonzalo, everybody that comes on here, myself, we all give our opinions. We lay it on the line. We're not saying that we're going to be 100% right. All right, listen, I recognize, no pun intended, that that Wilder could end this shit with one punch. He almost did the first time. It's like they don't hear that. All they hear is, yo, did he just say Fury beat him, or he thinks Fury's gonna beat him? That's all they hear.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen,
you guys are sick. Wilder fanboys on YouTube, you guys are sick motherfuckers. You're the laugh. You're the laugh of social media. You're the laugh of social media. Okay, people laugh at you. They think you're crazy. They think you're crazy, and you are.
Now listen, I wouldn't go that. What? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I've been saying what Reckon has been saying. Like, these people don't understand. Most of us, we laugh at you guys, at these channels. the LTBC channels because it's so ridiculous. We were reading some comments a few minutes ago, like 30 minutes ago. How it was just ridiculous. The comments like, I gave Wilder 7 rounds. There was a robbery for Wilder. They robbed Wilder, basically. That's what they're saying. Not even it was a close fight, which it wasn't really. But at least I would say, okay, these guys, they think it was a close fight. No, they were saying Wilder got robbed. Now, how am I not supposed to laugh at this shit?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, we're just trying to do a little boxing show here. Again, but again, recognize. Let me go show them. Let me go. They're probably white supremacists. They probably fucking got something as black people. They probably and they just come in.
Yeah.
And you can't change their mind.
Yeah.
Everything you say, even if you joke with them, they're gonna take that as an insult because they already made up their mind that you're an evil fuck. So hey, listen, it's a fucking boxing channel here. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I'll say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Never ever get it twisted. You ain't gonna change my mind. I'm talking about you, Wilder fans. The only one that could do that is Wilder, which I'm giving a great shot to win anyway. Okay, so you don't have no power to change my mind. Okay, first of all, you're too stupid and narrow-minded, so that would never happen.
Oh,
okay. First of all, I got way more experience than you. Most of you guys that call in are in your 20s and your 30s. Nigga, I'm almost 50. There ain't no way you teaching me anything about life. The only person that could change my opinion is Wilder himself.
And God.
That's it. That's it. That's all I got to say.
And God. And
You
God.
see, they're priming this guy to become one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's already the hardest hitter of all time. And a lot of people are already mentioning it as like it's an irrefutable fact. He's the hardest hitter of all time. Now we have the 50-0 record, which they defended that you know he should have won, but he got the draw. But they still could run with that. The whole undefeated, break the Rocky Marciano in heavyweight division undefeated record. They can still, or the 50-0 Mayweather. They're getting close to that. So they're gonna defend narratives at all costs.
Absolutely, man. That's what this
The
life
water
is all.
bubble is about to burst.
Would you stumble with your bubble, Bucho? He's always talking about the bubble's gonna burst. But no, listen, yeah, Gonzalo, you make a good point, man. It's I don't understand. It's symbols. That's what life is all about. It's about symbols, and people love to praise idols or prop them up and make idolize people. And it's people hitting each other over the head with a bunch of boxing gloves, man. I mean, come on. You're gonna start idolizing these people. It's insane. The only one that you can idolize and who will never let you down is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So put that into your pipe and smoke it, right? Also, we got
Amen.
Thank you.
Mr.
Yes.
Miami's calling back.
Was that?
Mr. Miami's calling.
All
again.
right, hold on a second. We gotta go, but just real quick, last caller. I think you already called in before. What's up?
What's good, man? Hey, who's the only?
What's that yelling in the back?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, hold on. Sorry, we just had a contribution. Shout out to Recognize the Don, says the Killer 1911, I should say. Thank you to Killer for your contribution. He says shout out to Recognize the Don. All right, caller. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, who's that black host? The only black host that's on the show.
The only black guy.
The one that's from America. The one that's from America.
That's me.
Who's the token black guy that's speaking? I want to have a word with him.
Hey, listen. You definitely not. You definitely not. Insult anybody. And the only reason I didn't laugh at the jokes is because I put it on mute when I was done talking.
Oh, how dare you?
You ain't
How
good
dare
for
you?
the cause.
How dare
You
you?
ain't good for the cause, bro. You're the only one sending out insults as far as ever since I started listening to the show, calling people stupid and all of this, all of that. Or we don't know anything. Hey man, you ain't good for the cause because you know the majority of people that's calling in for defending Deontay Wilder, they're the minority, bro, and so are you.
I know you guys are the minority. I know you guys are. Nobody believes that he dominated Fury. I agree with you on that.
Be respectful, bro. Unless you're gonna see the person face to face, then you can insult them then. But be respectful, bro. Serious talk.
Listen, man. Stop with that. You're not scaring nobody with that face-to-face shit. All right, trust me on that one. Second of all, I'm giving my opinion. Listen. What?
I haven't threatened you. I haven't insulted you.
I haven't threatened you.
Listen,
I haven't threatened you.
I haven't insulted you because I can't.
I don't know you. I don't know you. I'm not going to threaten you. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. And I don't really care to know. What I'm saying is, your opinion, you're acting as if you came on here. That's the the majority decision that the people thought that. They didn't think that. Nobody thought he dominated
Exactly.
Fury.
No, I'm just saying. But you have your own. Even Jack Reeves, the referee that Deontay Wilder believed that that gave Tyson Fury the long count, believed that Deontay Wilder won that fight.
Okay, that's his
It's
opinion.
all
I don't care
opinion,
about
bro.
no
It's all
Jack Reese.
opinion. You might
What
see
do I
you
care
might
about
see
him?
it one way, but another
He's
person might see
still
it
listen.
another.
He's still in the minority. He's still in the minority. Most people don't believe that he won that fight. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, he didn't say he won the
All right,
fight. He said he thought he won the first 3 or 4 rounds. But that's the thing with
But
people
I'm gonna
watching
let
an
you guys
interview that
go,
gets
man. I
put
just
on the
wanted to.
TV, on the
I just
YouTube.
wanted.
Everybody
I
starts
just
watching
wanted
it
to
and
address the only brother on the
piggybacking off
show.
other
I just
people's
wanted to
ideas.
address the
You
only
can't speak for
brother on
nobody
the
else but
show. But I'm
yourself.
out, man.
No, hold on,
With all due
caller.
respect.
I got a
Back
question.
after
Caller,
the fight. I call back.
caller. Hold on a second, because you're
Yo,
bringing up the brothers and all that. Are you? Where are you from? Just curious. Are you from the Caribbean? Because you get a bit of an accent.
I'm originally from Haiti, Port-au-Prince, but I live in Miami now.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's why the area code. All right. Well, listen. Recognize was just trying to make a point. He wasn't trying to make it personal. He certainly wasn't trying to threaten you. And again, we value your opinion because you're one of the people that calls in. And, yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, go ahead.
I just don't like the insults, bro. But I ain't taking it too personal. I'm just saying, for as far as it's not like a good representation of black people, you know.
Well, listen. Recognize is
Listen, we didn't even talk about race. You did. We didn't talk about no race.
LDBC.
Yeah, I didn't make a
I'm just
reference
saying
to
the
race.
majority of people that support Deontay Wilder are black, bro.
So what? So what? There's
That's
white
fine.
people that support him too. What's your point?
Yeah.
You're bringing
My
up.
thing is,
Listen, I'm not. You could take it as a diss, but you're bringing up these are not relevant points that you're bringing up. In your opinion, he dominated. In your opinion, he dominated Fury. I'm saying that I think you're crazy. That's all I'm saying. I think you're crazy. I don't think you were watching the fight.
Yeah, who said that the majority of people that support Deontay Wilder are black now?
No, they are.
As a
I
black
would say they
fighter,
are. If you judge by
but
YouTube, if you
yeah,
judge by
as
YouTube
far as
algorithm,
YouTube
I
and
would say
everything.
he's
Yeah,
right.
on
But
YouTube.
there are white fans. I've seen plenty of white fans that root for Deontay Wilder. I've seen it.
Absolutely.
Well, it's interesting because I got into it. I did a video once where I said that I intimated that maybe the Wilder fans were all blacks, and one guy who was a black guy came up to me and said that's not true. So I said, okay, so I don't know which one's which.
Right. So the black guy that told you that's not true, what he's telling you, he would disagree with this caller. He would disagree with the caller, and he's a Wilder fan, and he's a black guy. If it means anything, right? So he's saying that he would disagree with this caller, and I would sort of agree with the guy who says that's not true because I've seen with my own eyes on videos a lot of white guys that happen to like Fury. Wilder. Maybe the reason why they like him is because it's nationalism. You know what I'm saying? Like the civic nationalism that even though Deontay Wilder is a black guy, he's from America, so therefore I'm gonna cheer for him.
That's
You know?
right.
So,
Yeah.
All right,
that
listen.
that was my only input, man. I gotta go, but I know you're probably not doing it purposely, but it's just I didn't really like the insults and stuff.
All right. Listen,
All right, I'm out.
thank you for calling in, man. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd rather eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich than to talk about race. All right, I'm just gonna say that right straight off the bat.
your peanut butter and jelly's waiting.
That's right. It's getting stale now. It's disgusting. Listen, thank you guys for calling in, and thank you guys on the Discord. I mean, Gonzalo, Johnny Boy was here earlier as well. Stu, who's been here from the beginning of the telecast or the broadcast, as Recognize would say. Recognize the Matrix also for coming in, and Butch, of course, my co-host, and everybody who came onto the show, everybody who called in. Speaking of calling in, who did call in? Well, a bunch of people. I'm disappointed though. The StreamYard. Most of you
Yeah.
guys didn't come onto the StreamYard. We're gonna do it again though. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do it again. See if we get more because it's a new venture. We're still just developing it, so we're gonna see if anybody bites again next time. The bait is out there, and call in also if you can get on the StreamYard. And that's about it. Listen, want to thank everybody on the Discord. Thank you guys for joining us. Always entertaining. Check out Johnny Boy's channel. And I don't know, recognize. Did you just post a video, by the way?
I did post a video.
All
I'm
right.
gonna probably do a video tonight. I'm thinking about it, and X told me that he's coming back.
Oh, X is coming back from what, jail?
No, he was in Atlanta. I believe he wore out his welcome out there, so he has to come back.
All right, well, we'll catch that one, see what happens with X, the never-ending saga of 100% X. By the way, Brandon
Now,
White
you
says,
want to talk about a fan of Wilder? That's a fan of Wilder right there.
yeah, that guy doesn't play around, man. Tommy Boxell says, send me the link. Recognize, I want to see your video. Okay, we'll put it up on the description. Butcher, can you handle that?
Yeah, I'll put it in the community section too.
Okay, fantastic. And again, thank you guys for joining us. Brandon White says Canelo versus Saunders is official. Okay, we're gonna check that out. Maybe talk about
It's a boring fight, but I'll watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see if that's true. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. But again, thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe to BDA Live or
Peace, gentlemen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us, man. And I want to give a shout out to the Killer in 1911 who donated with a super chat. Thank you for joining him, man. And listen, StreamYard. We're gonna keep putting the link on the description the next time we open up the portal, so anybody can call in on StreamYard, and you just gotta create an account. I think, not even. I think you can just jump in if we let you in. Uncensored. We're not gonna filter you. So just call in, give us your opinion. We always appreciate hearing the feedback and the input. And if we gotta criticize you a little bit, don't take it too personally. That's what we do. It's you call in, we're gonna comment on you. It's the way it is. So thank you guys again for joining us. I want to give a shout out to, hold on a second, all right, shout out to the Killer who donated with a super chat, Tommy Boxell, Late AI or Al, I think it's Late Al, Rahawa, Tarvis the Chimp, Hawker Mustang. No, I'm not censoring you, Hawker. I don't know what, maybe it's the algorithm itself doing that. Punchy Paluca, SSB28, shout out to SSB, Transnational Inc., Chris Gonzalez, Tommy Boxell, the Fight Scout in there as well, Joe Lopez, who else? Buddy Aces was in there, John Gordon, and anybody else. If I forgot anybody else, guys, don't take it personally. It's Stephen Schneider, shout out to Stephen, of course, Anonymous, Ralph Unreal, everybody who called in, everybody who was on the Discord. Thank you for joining us, guys. We will be back at some point during the week, also with the Second Renaissance. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next one, folks. Take it easy.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it, man. I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a little fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.